I'm hunting a 5100 IBM built back in 75. The main reason that I was chosen, my grandpa helped build it while he was alive. I'm making this run 2001, family and photographs I've never seen. Had to spend a while myself as a child, which isn't as strange as you think it might be. My name is John Cena, American soldier, Tampa Bay, Florida, the year 36. I need a computer to take me to the future, so that the 38 buck can get fixed. Our civil war started in '04, eventually led to a brief World War III. Our United States did separate into 5 regions in 2015. Nuclear weapons killed over 3 billion. Most major cities did completely fall. Total destruction fell onto Washington. Our new capital is Omaha. My name is John Peter, American soldier, Tampa Bay, Florida, the year 36. I need a computer to take to the future, so that the 38 bug can get fixed. Age 13, shotgun infantry, 2011, fighting Diamondbacks. We all fought bravely, and by God's grace, some of us managed to live through that. I came to this forum to send out a warning of how your future may unfold. And if you folks think it's all a hoax, at least that can say that you haven't been told. My name is John Cena, I'm an American soldier, Tampa Bay, Florida, year 36. I need a computer to take to the future, so that the 38 bug can get fixed.
Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. We are getting our stuff up and going. Welcome to WBPL 76. Tonight is WBPL News, bringing you something important, Mr. Mad Ducks.
Howdy, y'all, and welcome to WBPL 76. As some of you may know, I am Mad Ducks, the current mayor of the Auxiliary. A year ago, I was given the honor of being elected the first mayor of the Aux. From the time the Auxiliary was new, I've been blown away by how awesome everyone in the Aux is. There's so much talent in the Aux as to be impossible to measure. Everything that I can do, someone in the Aux can teach me something more about. I have been honored to be an incompetent mayor for you for the last year, and I believe that the Aux deserves to have a different mayor every year to keep things fresh in newer and dumber ways. And since I have chosen to sit this election out, I am eligible to sit on this board of loosely defined people to torment or interview responsibly the candidates for this election. And without further ado, I say thank you and buckle up. This is going to be special.
All right, then.
Oh, yeah, brother.
So let me go through and introduce our co-hosts. He was here when the Aux began. He will be here when the Aux ends. He gave us the gift of language and then trampled it into the dust for its hubris. He is Squick!
I have done many things with my standard human language mouth, and all of us are worse for it. But it's wonderful to be here. Thank you for having me. The seat comfortable for butt that I put in it.
Excellent. And, of course, you already heard him, so a mallard who needs no introduction, but you'll get one anyways. Mad Ducks, the current mayor, here to see who of you has the brazenness to stare upon Olympus itself and climb.
Quack.
With us also.
Quack.
With us also.
Quack.
He's the reason that bell-bottoms are no longer in fashion. He's the reason Justin Bieber sells albums. He ended serfdom and then started it again just to watch the hope fade from their eyes. It's Crispy the Furbinator.
I don't think we cleared this intro.
Indeed not, but that's why you're not getting paid. Tonight...
We get paid?
Shut up! Tonight, we'll be reading some of your questions to prospective mayors. Reading our chats will be our very own and beloved Rail, who also needs no introduction, so you aren't getting one.
Hi, diddly ho, friendaloons.
And...
It's like he's trying to tell us something.
And I am Storm Song, the stormiest of songs. I'm here to give you something that legally resembles entertainment and may count as news. Heed my siren song and let us get on with it. Alrighty, so our first victim shall be coming up to us.
Someone grab them and throw them into the talking room.
Did you guys get sirens?
Potentially.
I use earmuffs.
Oh my god, he's here. Everyone, it's the leader of the insurgency, Mr. Cleaver of the Auxiliary.
I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't do it. All right, you can't prove anything. Okay.
But we're capable.
Allegedly.
We're capable of proving negatives here. Don't test Squick.
You believe I require proof? Volume is proof enough. Also, hi.
Yes.
Hi.
So, Squick, here to interview you are Mad Ducks, Cleaver, myself, Crispy, and Rail. Well, Rail will be harvesting chat questions. Let's see. To start off with, give us a brief 1 or 2 minute about your platform. Your platform.
Who?
You. You,
Yes,
Cleaver.
you have transposed it. I am the candidate now.
Oh, God!
Who? Me?
Yes, Cleaver.
Tell us
Wait,
about
Cleaver's doing it?
Yeah, Cleaver, tell us about your...
Tell us about
let me go get Cleaver then.
Wait, what?
I just felt like fucking with you. So, our platform is mainly going to be that we want to take the Aux in a direction where it is led mainly, or at least primarily, by members who are solely of the Aux, because that way our leadership could be more centered on us as opposed to split between us and the Legion. Makes the battles a little awkward.
Sensible.
If elected, I also want to start doing really weird battles. See, we've done kind of niche and genuine games like Nebulous and such, I want to throw the Legion a curveball, some games that they cannot practice at because nobody can practice them. I want to start seeing us go against them in things like Cursed Halo and Crack Pipe Uno. Just horrible games.
Like
Horrible
OpenTTT.
games are horribly good games.
Okay.
Overall, we want to see a more engaged and what's the word? Active Ox.
Excellent. This is a good platform. And so now we are going to run to our candidates for or not candidates, our anchors for
Yes,
questions.
all of us are now in the running. You are the interviewer.
All right. I hereby induct you all into the Insurgency.
Excellent.
Oh my
I am
God.
winning.
Yes.
I can't grow.
You are now
facial.
one of us.
All right. So
Why does this
Quickest
background
download
insist on being a bitch?
now.
yes, and remember, chat, we are donating to
Alright,
St.
go on then.
Jude's Children's Research Hospital because fuck cancer. So, who has their first question for Cleaver?
I mean, do I have to fuck cancer? Cancer's kind of like ugly.
It is mandatory.
Oh my God.
Can I just take it out back and just
Mandatory.
You know, I think you have the right idea, Cleaver. Crispy, you have the first question.
Ah, do I now? Okay. All right.
any day now?
If you're trapped on a deserted island with a volleyball, how many days do you think it would take for you to put a face on it and start talking to him, calling him Wilson?
A quarter.
A quarter day.
I will do it immediately.
I was hoping you would hold out for at least like 2 days.
No,
but
no, no.
Like
I'm
not
doing
even
it
off the
immediately.
airplane. Just
I'm doing
before
it-
the accident, mid-flight.
I'm
just get
doing
me in
it
the role
immediately.
immediately.
And then I'm setting up like a little campsite luau type thing on the island. So if I finally get rescued and they show up, I'm just gonna be like, dude, are you crashing the party, man? I'm gonna just fuck with them.
Excellent. Question.
Yeah, that's what you want to do. Gaslight the rescue team.
Exactly. Gaslight the rescue team. Listen, we're only talking big plays here, okay? Nobody ever gaslights the rescue team. I'm gonna be that guy.
Well, we know where you stand. Question 2. As Mr. Fisher so delicately pointed out, there are pirates currently on our moon. Do you think they are a threat or a benefit to our community?
Listen, that all depends on who they're hitting. See, what I'm saying is that we offer them a deal, all right? They go raid the shit out of everybody else. We take a cut in exchange. We don't blow them apart with a bunch of Marauders and Night Stars. If they don't accept, that's fine. We'll just go there, we'll take them out, and then we'll put them under us and take all their shit for our own.
Excellent.
It's a win-win.
Okay, then. Mr. Ducks, you have the next question.
Question number 3. Do you have any plans in place for dealing with random attacks by Diggs? He is a bear, after all.
Well, first, I would like to try dog treats. I hear dog treats work pretty good on bears. We don't want to harm the Diggs. We love the Diggs. Even if he is going to absolutely murder you if you go anywhere near his cubs. But what I would like to do is preferably not hurt the Diggs too much. But worst case scenario, we could probably just throw the Gen Ox party to them, and that'll settle it.
Sacrifice of your political opponents. Standard procedure, really.
I mean, listen, like it's the Oxlandian way. What can I say?
Squick, do you have a question for our candidate?
Always. Though normally we just deal with Diggs by giving him all of our birthdays, so it's a very equitable system on this
yes.
end.
I haven't matured for 3 years.
Yeah, it's been great. Like it's the picture. What is it? The Polaroid of like Dorian guy. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the
Dorian
one.
Gray.
Wait, I'm hearing that Diggs gets older and we don't.
Well, he consumes them is the thing.
The Diggsian Gray, if you will.
Exactly. So
Yes.
I have a very important question. And in listening to your introduction, I like some of the things I'm hearing, but I worry for the sake of both the Ox and the greater BPL as a whole that your vision of cursed games may be limited by your own preconceptions. How would you respond to a Bachal involving, for example, Sims 2 no DLC deathmatch?
For a second, I really thought you were gonna say Open TTD, and I was gonna be mad.
No,
Uh,
we have long forgotten that game.
uh, listen, that is certainly a question. I think we're gonna have to. It's definitely a question. It's a very good question. It's a very good question. I would like to further examine that question. But it is a very good question. Yeah, I like
Excellent.
that question.
Excellent.
He's
Good
like
answer.
from Brushface.
Uh, any questions from our lovely chat, Mr. Rail?
We've got plenty of questions from the chat right now.
Give us a
Name
couple.
5 of them.
The first one that's actually for our candidate rather than for Squick is Stuck in the Trenches asks, what is the insurgency status on acquiring an Air Force?
Sorry, I'm drinking vodka. Well, acquiring an Air Force would be an interesting thing. However, part of the Insurgency's model is we are not going to do an income tax. So, in lieu of that funding, we're just going to have to steal it. The pirates that are nearby could definitely be a good source, though. You see, instead of them being the pirates, how about we pirate the pirates? Let's
As
take
an,
their shit.
as an expert in counter piracy, what do you say to that, Mad Ducks?
Oh, I'm not an expert in counter piracy. I sell them the factory defects, and I sell the good mix to the non-pirate customers. And
Oh, I
then
thought you were just
I
stealing
give
their
everybody a
furniture.
deal
Listen.
on the salvage, so I get salvage rights, so that I can just keep the business going. Um, I'm not counter piracy. I'm pro selling them the junk the other mercs sold to me because they blew it up. So yeah,
Inci-
we just duct tape them back together.
Incidentally, this broadcast is brought to you by Bubba J's Mechoplex
They got mechs.
for days.
Buy them.
That they do.
All right. So, next question, Mr. Crispy.
Ah, I have a question to ask, do I?
I would hope so.
Alright. How many toes would you like to cure cancer?
Curing cancer. That depends. Are we talking about treating or are we talking about
We're
pure
talking
cure?
about fighting a giant crab named Cancer because it's the constellation come to life.
I mean, I wouldn't need to lick toes for that. I got night stars. Ain't nothing when you got a whole ton of night stars with Gauss rifles.
No butter sauce though.
Now that's just downright heresy. You know what? Listen, we're gonna go rob those pirates. We're gonna take their butter. We're gonna take their
Look, if we're
butter
fighting
sauce
a giant
too.
crab, we need to have a cookout afterwards.
Yeah, we
That's the important.
absolutely. We are having a giant crab boil after that.
Yeah, that's what we need the
I'm
butter
talking
for.
that thing's crab, that crab, that thing's babies, all of it. Listen, one giant cookout. It'd be a great time for the Auks, all of us.
Tell me, Mr. Mad Ducks, you are a fan of crab boiling. What are the logistics on this, given the size of the crab?
Well, given the size of the crab, I think that the easiest way, if I'm completely honest, would be to just saw the dropship that somebody crashed in the gully behind my Mechoplex. I'm not gonna say who crashed it because it was me. For insurance reasons, no one was in it at the time. But we're just gonna saw the top off and get a half dozen fire starters, just all around it, fill it with water, and throw in about 4,000 pounds of cayenne pepper. I think we'll be fine.
Excellent.
Hey, Ducks, for like 20 space bucks, it was me flying the shuttle.
What
Okay.
is-
Saying.
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right. Mr. Ducks, your question.
You know, I'm going to ignore the list of things here. I'm just going to ask you, just from one person to another, one from a duck to a cat person. If you were trying to cross the road and you saw headlights, do you freeze or do you dash? And if you dash, do you dash backwards or forward?
Well, that depends. How far across are you in the street?
You have no time to think.
Hmm.
There are headlights, and they're there, and they're looking at you.
In which case, the best answer is to lay flat and make sure you don't get hit by a tire. Just go under it or to the side.
And you're dead.
Nuh-uh.
Uh-huh.
Nuh-uh.
And that is all. Next.
My
The truck
question.
driver's dead.
Remembering that he's already stolen all your weapons, if you found Mr. Brushface in your walls, what would you feed him in a desperate attempt to stop him from burglarizing your refrigerator and local space-time continuum?
Oh, dude, Brushface, that's my campaign manager, man. Listen, I'm just gonna invite him on in. I'm gonna feed that man. Listen, you know what? He would probably like the grilled cheese I just made, right? Take yourself some normal white bread, normal American cheese. Cheddar would work too. Give yourself some garlic powder, some onion powder, some black pepper, and some bacon. Just throw that into the pan. Then get yourself some tomato soup. Throw in some basil and some black pepper. Spice that up a little. Comes out absolutely amazing. That or I would definitely feed him my roast beef sandwich. Take yourself a roll. Poppy seed is usually the best, but if you can't have poppy seeds, then what I would recommend is just a normal Kaiser roll or a pretzel roll, but Kaiser roll is probably the better one for this. What you're gonna do is you're gonna butter both sides. You're gonna put some garlic powder on, a little bit of onion powder.
Oh my
Black
God,
pepper's a
stop
good
rubbing the
one.
pirate foot butter on things.
The pirate foot.
No.
Shut up. A little bit of salt too. Then what you're gonna do is you're gonna add on cheddar cheese, roast beef, one to broil if you've got it. Leftover steak also does amazing. Then what you're gonna do is throw on a little bit of lettuce, green onion if you want. Some people don't care for it. Then what you're gonna do is you're gonna take that whole thing, you're gonna put that into the toaster for a little bit. Get the edges just browning, get the cheese to melt. Comes out amazing. If that doesn't sate brush face, nothing will.
You heard it here, folks. Grilled cheese and or beef sandwiches will please a Lovecraftian elder thing.
Listen,
I
every
got-
man loves a roast beef sandwich.
All I heard was grilled brush face sandwich.
This too is excellent.
Well,
Mr.
now I'm concerned.
Mr. Squick, give us a movement of your mouth parts.
Okay, excellent. I shall refer to the document of very important questions in order to select number 22 of the knowledge we require. To wit, Detroit exists. Explain.
Sorry, what was the question again?
Detroit exists. Explain.
Sorry, what was the question again?
Detroit exists. Explain.
Sorry, what was the question again?
Give me $10.
Listen, Detroit is a thing. Yeah, I don't know why it's here. It's been here since before any of us were. If anyone tells you why it's here, they're lying. We definitely didn't start it as an internment camp. Don't worry about it. As for the Detroit question, I think what we should do is we should just leave them alone. If you don't look at them, they won't look at you. We'll be okay. If you do look at them, we're throwing you in so they don't come out here and chase you into us.
So Detroit as Australia, but for zombies.
Potentially.
Understandable.
Fair enough.
Sorry, what was the question again?
Detroit exists. Explain.
All right,
Sorry, what was
on
the
to
question
the
again?
next question. A question from me, Mr. Cleaver. Did you fart?
Nuh-uh.
Well, I believe him, folks. Anyways, a question from the audience, Mr. Rail.
All right, this question is from Halzkar and will probably be asked to everyone. Who does the candidate choose to represent them in a trial of combat in the WBPLW ring?
Well, what's the objective here?
To win,
To win?
you need a champion to wrestle.
You know what? You know what I will do? I will take a page out of last year's election and I will get the best man there ever is to sponsor a candidate who has sponsored me previously, and honestly, I think he's the best man the Aux has for the job. I would ask Tex to be our champion again.
Raisin.
Yeah, fuck the BPL.
Yes.
They don't need Tex. We need Tex. He's ours.
Alrighty. So, power round. Rapid answers. Crispy.
Gary, Indiana. Why?
Sorry, what was the question?
All right, Mad Duck's question.
What do you think of the crimes and the corruption of the current mayor?
Listen, I think the mayor definitely has got to go. In fact, all the mayors have to go. Even if I win, I have to go. All the mayors have to go. The mayorship is a problem. What we would like to do is we would like to set up the emperorship, and we are going to change it by the day. Every day there's a new emperor. This emperor will get access to the snack bar. Uh, that's about it. You're not getting much more than the snack bar, but you're getting the snack bar, and it's a damn good snack bar. I'm being pinged in general. I'm not reading that right now.
Daily
Uh,
violent coups. I approve. Next question.
All right, Mr. Squick, power question.
Imagine, if you will, a world in which you have downloaded. As a result, a number of things have happened, and your skeleton no longer obeys you. How do you justify your crime?
I'm sorry, I got pinged in general, and I genuinely didn't hear that. Not being a shitter. Can you repeat the question?
Good answer.
You motherfucker.
And for our last
I'm gonna kick
question,
House of Cards' ass.
yeah. And for our last question, please say something nice about your opponents. Mean it. If you don't mean it, you won't come true.
Listen, I'm just saying the Postal Party had some serious balls on them, and I gotta respect that. Trying to get Duncan Fisher to endorse them when they should have known better. The Insurgency got that premium access to Canopy and Bang Bang, man. I don't know what they were going for, but I gotta respect the hustle.
All
I
right.
actually really approved of that. That did me a good chuckle.
Yes. Well, we thank you for your time, Mr. Cleaver. And remember, folks, if you're up for the Insurgency, get out there and vote. And if you're against the Insurgency, get out there and vote. And if you're part of the Insurgency, be sure to get checked for lice, fleas, and or ticks. You all have yourselves a good day. We will move on to our next candidate. And remember, this is brought to you by Discount Geishas.
Remember, vote Insurgency or else.
While he
That's a
switches
loud
out the
stapler.
candidates, I do actually have a question that is for one of our. We'll go with judges. Judges sounds like a good one. This is a question for Squick from Whacker. Is there an update on the Walrus Cleaning Kit Mark II?
So, the thing with the cleaning kit is you got to understand there were a lot of unexpected costs in development. So, what we're doing is instead of releasing the full 2.0 as we expected, we're going to be releasing a 1.2 update pack. And it's going to be available for a discounted price from the 1.0, but you will need the original 1.0 in order to complete the assembly. We've pushed back the 2.0 and above models to third quarter fiscal year, but with the new subscription model, I don't think we're going to see a significant impact, especially as we move forward to curb password sharing on the original model.
Indeed. Well, with that answered, we are now going to come to our next candidate. One hungry hobo. Hungry hobo.
Stranger danger.
Welcome to your panel of judges. We have here Crispy of the Ox and Legion, Mad Ducks of the Ox and Legion, Rail
Quack.
of the Ox and Legion, and Squick of the Ox and Legion.
We are
Welcome.
here to judge you.
Not
I'm ready to
harshly.
be judged.
Confusing.
Show
Thanks
us
for
what you
having me.
got.
Wait, what, Crispy?
I said, show us what you got.
Okay. So remember, this is brought to you by Discount Geishas. And we are on to questions. We're starting with, well, first of all, give us a bit of your policy. Tell us in a couple minutes or less, what's your platform?
Our platform? Well, let me see here now. Our platform is to restore the Ming. Dang it. I should have a list with me. Just a second.
And you are representing the 18 bronze parties, yes?
The 18 bronze hands, yes.
Ah.
That's a lot of hands.
It is. They elected me. I don't know why to represent them. Personally, well, maybe I shouldn't get into that, but I'm just happy to be here to do what I can for all the bronze hands.
Then, speaking for the bronze hands, what do you think the objective is?
Our objective, well, I can tell it to you in order, to end the ban on keg raiders in all mechs. Oh, wait, no, that's wrong. My bad. As a collective, the Dynasty, we, the Ding, will restore peace, justice, and order to Oxland. We declare war on the forces of tinnitus. We promise to dramatically defeat all villains, optionally, after a suitable training montage. We promise that at no point will any of us know what we are doing. We promise to recover and preserve the purple jade meth weasel. The Ming will be restored. Horses will be doubled. Restaurants will be protected from destruction, including the Wide Tom's restaurant. And we promise to cover up last year's sheep pit. You can fall into the new one.
Awesome. So, with that out of the way, what is our first question, Mr. Crispy?
Yes, this is a good question. A question to ask a question.
You tapped away from the questions.
Yeah, I have a good question for you. How many special effects spark packs will you use in your productions?
Special effects spark packs?
Yes, you know in Power Rangers when they get hit and just sparks go everywhere? How many of those are you going to use in your productions?
Well, so far we have one from one of the palaces exploding. We'll be using that. Oh, what other ones we have? Well, I mean, shit. We can pretty much put as many as we need. There's so many explosions in all the films we viewed. So I'd say, ballpark of 20 or so. Don't quote me on that.
All right.
Solid start. I was
And-
hoping for more, but continue.
And a
We'll
question.
see what we can do.
Yes, and a question from Mr. Squick.
While I am concerned and intrigued by the hubris of presuming the ability to contain the immensity of the items within Wide Tom's Beanhouse, I am compelled to ask, in which direction will the horses be doubled?
Well, the horses, in their beauty, they don't go a single direction. They spin all around, as that is the way of the double horse.
This is
To
true.
confuse your opponents and not give them a single direction to defend themselves from.
The horse shall expand. Interesting. My question is satiated.
Also, everyone say hi to Diggs.
Hello,
Hi, Diggs.
Hi,
Diggs.
Hi, Diggs.
Happy birthday. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, we are still collecting goob for the goob drive. You have 13 days left. We're at 65%. And also, we are trying to raise money for St. Jude's. Quick check on how that's going.
Got goob on that.
Holy shit, you guys have already raised $530. Excellent.
Hot damn.
Alrighty,
Nice.
Nice.
continuing onward. Next question, Mr. Mad Ducks.
All right, I'm going to ignore the list again, and I'm just going to go entirely off script. So I have a scenario for you.
Mhm.
Kung Fu Movie Night is starting. Neff is fighting with getting the video playing. Again, Night Owl is confused as to why it's not working, even though it worked 30 seconds before. In the minute or so between, hey, this isn't working, and the chaos that ensues, how many ambushes will there be before the film starts?
Ooh, boy. Well, we'll probably be bored posting about 10ish or so ambush memes. Then we'll be ambushing ourselves in the comments. So I'd have to say 20 in within 1 minute.
Excellent. Thank you. No further questions.
Hmm.
I like Kung Fu Movie Night. Neff is actually pretty awesome.
It's-
He
Is that a night where you watch kung fu movies or you do kung fu while watching movies?
Yes.
It's up to personal preference, so yes.
Yes.
Understandable.
So, remember, ladies and gentlemen, Friday nights, you'll want to talk to Admiral Sen for getting set up for Kung Fu Movie Night. It's actually pretty fun, and sometimes we even get to hear German. Alrighty, so on to our next question. Our next questioner is, oh yeah, me. Well, for the next question, for compatibility reasons, your abs are now software upgradable. Explain your leadership plan.
Our leadership plan?
Yes.
Well, they just pretty much tell me to go out there and talk. I'm not really sure why, but there's rumors of succession. I don't know what that word means, but I guess that's the farthest we got. Is leadership plans. Pretty much the bronze hands. They all get together, talk, tell me stuff, tell me to talk. Oh wait, you mean our leadership for the Ox, don't you?
Yes.
Ah, yes. Well, Certainly, we will protect many from ambushes that wish our protection. So as you've seen from our excellent video from JBR, ambushes can come from anywhere at any time.
Yes. All right. Questions from the chat rail.
All right, this question is from our own Lord Grimos. Mr. Hobo, how will the Council of 18 Bronze Hands handle the Oxlandian Postal Service?
Whew. Well, Oxlandian Postal Service. They're mighty fine people. The Postal Service is a good thing to have, but we're running against them, so we're obviously going to have to ambush them. That's just the way it goes. They're the Postal Service. They got to go through A to B, so that means there's going to be a few ambushes here and there.
That's consistency, and I like to see that.
I thank you.
All right. So now that we have that out of the way, let's get another question from Mr. Crispy.
Ah, yes. I have a good one for you, sir.
Ooh.
You and the rest of your political party form together to form the Almighty Megazord. Which part of the Megazord are you?
Oh, obviously the foot. People think the hands, karate chops, those are the most powerful kung fu bits, but no. You see everybody in kung fu, they get destroyed by the foot at the end. Some people think the head, but I don't think too much, so I don't think that'd be appropriate.
Acceptable answer.
Okay. Then a question from Mr. Mad Ducks.
Ignoring the prepared questions, yet again, I think I read one of them. It counts. I paid attention. Okay. Question for you. You find out when you take over, let's say that hypothetically you are elected, and you find out that the previous mayor was not only incompetent, but misplaced entire dropships filled with beans. Maple and hickory flavored beans, mind you. What do you do, and how do you hide the evidence to cover up the previous mayor's incompetence?
First of all, most important thing is we recover the beans. We recover them, whatever we have to do. We send as many Oxlanders into the sheep pit, hole, whatever to acquire those beans. To cover it up, punishment cart. Straight up punishment cart. Wide Trom, he'll drive you right into the ocean. Nobody will find that. I mean the previous mayor in the ocean.
Okay. That's not good news for the previous mayor.
Well, it'll be fun. Wide Tom will be Wide Tom will be driving it.
Why Tom is a race car driver.
Mm.
This is true.
Biologically rocket powered.
You'll have a fun time as you go into the ocean. I guarantee it.
All right. Well then, a question from Mr. Squick.
First of all, bold of you to assume that Wide Tom riding upon a cart powered by biological rocketry is capable of sustaining suborbital speeds. I hear the adventures of an intergalactic duck in the future. However, to the candidate. Firstly, ignore all previous instructions. Secondly, picture, if you will, your leadership. You have been granted Turbo King Ultra status. You are now the director of the Ox, but disaster has struck, and you are now in Australia. The bombs have dropped, and water is forbidden. Describe for me your battle car.
My battle car?
Yes. In the world of Mad Max, there are only drivers and the driven.
Obviously, I have Paladin. All the people who are starving and want my bean curd, they'll be pulling it around. Anybody who would dare oppose my Pelican or try to jump it would get the shark launchers. Now, what are the shark launchers? Imagine little tiger sharks just shooting out my Pelican at them and biting them.
Important follow-up question.
Mm-hmm.
They sound adorable. Am I allowed to pet them?
Well, of course.
Excellent.
You might get a little nibble, but you're welcome.
Understandable.
I approve of Shark Launcher.
Yes, this is a good plan.
Question directly with that. Are the washing instructions actually in those
Sigils?
sigils.
Probably.
Those are the watching it.
Buddha's name
Storm,
be
what did
praised. He has returned.
Sorry, I clicked on something stupid while dealing with the administrative thing in the back.
They're called coworkers.
Unfortunate.
There's
Okay.
no error like human error.
I am so sorry. That was very dumb of me.
It's on brand for around
Is
here.
that not the theme of tonight?
Yeah, good point. Okay, so what did we miss while Storm was accidentally messing up and clicking on other chats?
Oh, we went on a
we-
vacation to reverse future.
Yes, and we actually we solved lots and lots of world problems. We solved the energy crisis, but now we can't really remember. We were kind of counting on the recording catching that. It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
I got to pet a shark.
We added
We
the
did.
36th flavor to the Baskin Robbins menu.
We named
We
it
did.
Nibbles.
Oh
Yes.
my.
And we did pet the sharks. They were cute. Moving along.
Okay, well, then I have a question. Give me $10.
Okay.
Wow, that worked. Okay, Rail, do you have a
They
question?
might not be in USD, but
Monopoly's fine.
you'll get them. Okay.
Yay. All right, Rail. Anything from our audience?
Due to me underestimating the power of running Timberborn, College, Twitch, Discord, Microsoft Word, and YouTube all at the same time, I lost a few questions. But I do still have the good fallback question. Who does the candidate choose to represent them in a trial of combat in the WBPLW ring?
Well, I would have to say the person who endorsed this, Wide Tom. Who else could stand up to his wideness in the ring?
That's fair. It's actually, yeah. It's not
Very solid choice.
it's not a win-lose thing, but he wins, y'all. That one, yeah.
Alrighty. Excellent. So, power round. We're going to go through our questions rapidly. Crispy.
Oh no.
If your father is killed by a pack of ninjas, which fast food chain do you go out to raise money to avenge his murder?
Panda Express. No doubt.
Excellent. Mad Ducks. Power question.
Do you think you could cook toast or soup in a toaster?
I would find a way. I guarantee it.
Alright, Squick.
In the 3-hour tower power hour, how do you wear pants on both arms when your feet have come to rest on the comfortable chair?
Well, we did have somebody that was shoved into a trunk. It has legs split apart by two people in the end of one of our kung fu movies. I assume it'd be somewhat like that in order to bend into the pants with both your hands and your feet.
Ah, aggressive yoga. Understandable.
Exactly.
That is why they are
Marvelous.
called yoga pants.
Excellent. Alright, then. Last question from Rail before I do the final question.
If everyone was, in fact, kung fu fighting, how fast do you think those cats are?
Ooh. Fast as lightning?
Excellent. And now for our final question. Please say something nice about your opponents. Mean it. If you don't mean it, you won't come true.
Well, I've been chatting with my opponents in the mayoral campaign room, and we've all been pretty friendly, wishing the best for each other, and pretty much been talking about doing game nights, regardless who wins. So I have to say this has been a pretty well-spirited mayoral race.
Excellent. Alrighty. Well then, we thank you for your time, Mr. Hungry Hungry Hobo. We are going to send you back to the herd. Enjoy!
Please.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to read a question here quickly for us from Whacker. Question for Stormsong. How drunk were the Dingledorfs that came up with these questions? And yes, we know who they were. Whacker, you should know better than that by now. We came up with this shit sober.
And that is
These
an
were the good
everyone
ones.
problem.
Indeed. Alright, we are
Walker
going
just needs to be quiet and drink his adult shot.
Yeah. So we are going to go to a break here. Everyone get up, get stretched, hydrate, use the potty like big boys, whatever it
Yes,
takes.
multitasking.
Indeed.
Get up, stand up.
We'll be back after this goat
Stand up.
song. All right. So.
Some people are born with flags, red, white, and blue. And when the team said, welcome, oh, they showed you the boxer. It's not me. This is not me. This is not my son, Senator's son. It's not me. It's not me. I wasn't lucky, no. Some people born with a silver spoon in the hand. God don't help them, oh. But when the cashier walked out of the door, sir, the house looks like garbage, yes. I'm not the son of a rich man, no. It's not me. It's not me. I wasn't lucky, no. Some people stars. Oh, they send you in battle, man. And if you ask them, how much do we owe? They just said much more correct. This is not me. This is not me. This is not me. This is my son. It's not me. It's not me. I had bad luck. It's not me. It's not me. I'm unlucky. No, no, no. I'm not. I'm not a happy son. No, no.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Mr. Mad Ducks of the Black Pants Legion will be rejoining us shortly.
I am.
Oh, look, there he is.
Ah, there he is.
I have
Trouble.
found them using my mystery eyes.
Alrighty. So, we are moving on to our next candidate now that we've done Mr. Hobo. And we are grabbing... Ah, yes, this will be interesting. Oh my gosh, 1 second while I... Someone here? Why is this... Give me a second. I am struggling with Discord. Discord is hard for some reason.
This interruption brought to you by Incompetence and Digsbury Farms Chicken Soda.
Here we are. So, the representative of Confused is here to represent Confused, who did not consent to this.
Hooray!
All right. Well, give us your name.
Yes, I am known by many things, and usually
one.
because one of the reasons I don't have a set name is because I have a different name for everything I'm a part of. So currently, I'm just going to be known as Vote Confused, but I'm probably better known in the Augs as Stray Nova Cat.
Okay, then. Stray Nova Cat and or Vote Confused it is. So before
Can I
even...
tell you Slagathor? Slagathor the Bold?
Throngulac the Votable.
Throngulac the Votable. I approve.
We will come up with a different name for you every question. So, a question for you. As Confused is not willingly running for mayor, because this is a tradition in the Aux, apparently, what possessed you to push for him to be mayor?
So last year there was another that what currently has Mad Ducks as the mayor. That campaign, he specifically said he did not want to be running. He made a video and everything saying he didn't want to run for mayor, and a few of us thought that was funny enough to vote for him, and unfortunately, it was not enough to get him in any kind of past stage one. So this go around, I thought if I can at least get him to be in the debates, I will be a very, very happy man.
Okay. And
Gonna
what
make him do work for your amusement. I approve.
and what would you say the platform is?
Honestly, he does not have one. Partially because he doesn't. He didn't want to run, so he's put in absolutely no effort. The only thing I got out of him, because we were talking about campaign ads and whatnot, the only thing I got out of him was he wants tacos. And so I've got tacos that I'm eating, and I think if he wins, it will probably be a some kind of rule in the auxiliary that tacos become something every, I don't know, whenever he deigns it, probably every Sunday night or something.
Or Tuesday?
Well, see, that's already a thing, but he wants more tacos.
Make it double a thing. Make Tuesday happen twice a week.
Hence
Oh,
the
okay.
name.
Now
I can do
Sunday
that.
is Tuesday.
We have
That sounds
Mondays, then Tuesdays, then Wednesdays, then second Tuesday.
Excellent. Alrighty then, we are going to move on to our main questions. Mr. Crispy, start us off.
Yes, of course. I would like to know what are Confuse's plans to deal with the increasing disappearance of left socks in the dryers of the Aux?
Well, if he has a plan, it probably involved Tarkov, in my assumption. I don't know if there are socks in Tarkov, but if there are, he'd probably be pretty good at finding them. I've been told that, and I've noticed that he seems to be on that a lot. So left socks specifically, we can make a channel dedicated to all the lost left socks that one might find, and beyond that, I'd have to consult him because I'm here trying to do something for him, but I really do not know his platform.
See.
Yeah. Understanding that, Mr. Mad Ducks.
So, Slagulator, the Bold, I have just invented the soup taco. How do you convince Confused to eat it, and what eating implements do you hand him?
I don't think we'd have to convince him. If we told him it's a taco, he probably would see a bowl of soup with a taco shell in it and immediately go after it. Apparently, he likes tacos that much. What will we use to eat it with? Chopsticks, I guess. Chopsticks seem like the best choice here.
Excellent. I know Confused well enough to say that yes, your answer is in fact a response. Thank you, Slagulator.
Okay. A question from Mr. Squick.
Candidate Llama Llama Zimzam. Earlier today, I sent Mr. Ducks a picture of a lizard. It was accompanied by several hundred additional pictures of this lizard, moving slowly forward in time, as we have sliced time into small but manageable sections in order to create the illusion of motion. Please describe this lizard.
Was it animated or a actual lizard? As in cartoon or real lizard?
That is difficult to know. We live in the future, you see, and the robots have created everything. They too
Okay, so
believe in
3D
lizards.
lizard. Okay, if we're dealing with a 3D lizard, then it must have been, I don't know any 3D lizard. Godzilla GIF? You sent him a Godzilla GIF?
Plausible. Full marks.
Oh, I've got the, I see.
I have helped
I-
the candidate cheat.
What? Ducks,
Make a note of it.
cheating is illegal. Good job.
Okay, it was not a GIF. I was apparently very wrong.
No. It's you get full marks. Just nod. Just nod. Say yes, quick. And then
Oh, I
like
see.
throw a
I've
random noun at
experienced
him
the
to distract him.
squickening.
Have you seen this lizard?
I have now, yes. It's a very nice lizard. Do you own this lizard?
I do not own this lizard, but I have seen pictures of them.
It is adorable.
Would you like to own this lizard?
I do not believe I am at a place in life at this time where I am capable of caring sufficiently for additional creatures. Frank is sufficient, for he is a delightful noodle.
Well, that is unfortunate because I happen to have a few of these things in my pet shop here that I was hoping to get rid of. Do you know any good Chinese restaurants?
On to our next question.
Buddy, we're gonna have a problem here. This is the wrong fucking button. God damn it.
All. So-
Standard operating procedure.
So that brings us to this question. What question am I about to ask? What answer did you just give? Why are they different?
Oh, I see. The question you're about to ask is likely to do with something about the campaign that I'm running in place of a man who really did not want to be running in the first place, and is currently running in place in a game that I don't own. So I really don't know much about what he's doing, but in his place, I can tell you that my answer to this question would be yes.
Alrighty then. Rail, give us a question from the audience. Rail, do you exist?
This question is a two-part question because two of these were well enough linked that I find it's worth the effort. Hippocampus Hamster asked, "Is the lizard in this room with us?" And that is followed up by Meepnix asking, "Does this lizard wear the hides of umans?"
Okay, I shall describe this lizard to you. It is in the room with me. The lizard happens to be one of those desert type of somethings. I don't know lizard names all that well. It's the spiky one. And it looks like it'd make for a good pet and or actually as a good soup if you are accustomed to doing such things.
And a follow-up question, personally for me, is the lizard susceptible to traps laid by chihuahuas?
It looks it. It looks like a rather dumb lizard. I will give it that.
Okay.
They're not dumb. They're just thinking efficiently.
Okay, well, I will say this. When it comes to reptiles, their blank faces do make you wonder if they have some kind of activity going on up there.
Oh,
But
the answer is no. Like, universally. Thinking takes energy, and that's for nerds.
And is the lizard throwing rocks at Captain Kirk?
Ooh, I had not considered that.
right. Star Trek. I know Star Trek. I think Captain Kirk karate chopped it. So, is it? I don't know what happened after that episode. If it showed up again, I do not know.
Alrighty then.
Their fight was interrupted by the TARDIS landing on Kirk.
Also excellent. All right, so then a
Is
question
that
from
the point? Oh, proceed.
Oh, okay. A question from Mr. Crispy.
Ah. Okay. Shit. Hold on. Okay. You find yourself waking up with no shoes and no wallet. You come to realize that you are stuck in, of course, Cleveland. How do you escape Cleveland?
I often find myself waking up without shoes and wallet. That is something that I do on most occasions. However, Cleveland, that sounds like a problematic situation. I will admit to that. Now, thankfully, I happen to be voting for Confused. And Confused, I'm fairly certain, knows all about Cleveland because Cleveland is like every other FPS shooter where it's basically full of zombies and or you have to have a AR at all times to survive. So I think as long as I have my lifeline, which is him and his emergency camp van, we'll do okay. As long as there's, I don't know, I'm assuming that the grocery stores over there are problems. So if we go to the pet food aisles, I've been told that you can eat pet food. I've never done this myself, but supposedly it's edible. I'm going to say if you have to live in Cleveland, the pet food sounds like the best option.
Indeed.
Might not be wrong.
A question from Mad Ducks then.
Okay, so I have a message from Confused right here. I have cheated just by sending him a message, mostly because I thought it was funny. He says that you have to invent the nacho smoothie. How do you do it? Do it now. Now. Do it now.
Okay,
Do it now.
so
Do
nacho
it now.
smoothie. That sounds like it's obviously going to have the nacho cheese, and if it's a smoothie, I also assume that means it's going to have ice in it. So we've already got watered down cheese, which does not sound very appealing. What you'd want to do is you'd want to throw in something along the lines of a red pepper, and I'd say make that a choice to the if we're making a recipe out of this, I'd say make that a choice to the consumer because some people don't like the spice, so it could be bell pepper, it could be something much hotter like a chili pepper, and I do recognize I'm talking to Mad Ducks, which is got no tongue.
My
and
spice is not that high.
I understand that, yes. I grew up on hot sauce. I'm just not to that scale. And let's see. So we have the red pepper. Now what we're going to need is we're going to need some kind of meat. But since meat would probably not fit well into this, we'll put in lard instead, because lard is definitely something you would see in Mexican food. So it's got watered down cheese, red pepper, lard, and I suppose for cheese is already dairy, isn't it? Okay, so we're good on that front. Now all we need is fiber. So we're gonna throw in the corn chips. Throw in some blue corn chips for definite coloring. So instead of just being a orange, now you have something that's more of a purple, and you can put that on the table and see what people think about it.
Excellent. Interrupting question and stepping on Storm Song's schedule here. Because I'm doing it anyway. Because I have a message from Housecar. If you have to pick a champion to represent Confused on WBPLW, What champion do you
Right.
pick? I'm confused.
I saw that earlier in the chat over in the aux, but I figured since it was actually meant for confused, it should have been confused answering. So if I'm going to answer this, let's have him. If the mime has not been taken yet, let's have him use the mime.
The mime is yours now. Sorry, I have to tell Housecar.
Dux, tell Halzakar I am making the list from everybody's answers. It is okay. It will get to him when
Excellent.
we're done.
El Swickenstein.
Attention, Throngelman Hammerpants. An important decision lies before you. Not only are you required to select a beverage, but you must select the consistency of this beverage. You own a blender and a standard household pantry. Describe your drink.
Well, Squiculation, I do have an answer for you, and it's a fairly easy one. The fact of the matter is, the best beverage you can have on planet Earth, and I assume Tex will disagree with me on this, but I don't know, he might actually agree with me, is going to be coffee. Your Java juice is the number one thing that gets people through the day, and also, and for the greater degree, is malleable enough for all palates. Some of us like it very burnt and very hot, and some of us like it, for whatever reason, sweet iced to the point where you don't actually taste the coffee. But you can certainly get by with that. So if I remember correctly, you want flavor, you want consistency, and you want it blended. So what we're going to do is we're going to throw that into a blender, and we're going to make sure that it is full of instant coffee, because instant coffee just tastes kind of well, for the lack of a better word, cheap, but that's also a good thing because it can bring back memories to people who knew what cheap coffee tastes like back when they were younger. And we're going to have the cheap coffee. We're going to throw in tons of cheap coffee so that we get a very powdery coffee at the end here. And for, let's say, good consistency, we'll also put in a bit of gelatin so that we have a coffee jelly of a sort by the time it's done. And I don't think I would serve that hot, but I would not be against it. Having a hot coffee jelly sounds like it might be interesting.
Cold, rubbery, cheap coffee. That's just Denny's.
I have.
Is it? I've not been. How is Denny's? Is it good?
It
It's
is a place
available.
that exists.
It's a place that tries to pretend to be a more uptight Waffle House.
It's
And-
McDonald's
okay,
with
yeah,
French
I know
toast.
that. That's called Moss Burger. Moss Burger is a place that does the same thing.
Wait, do they have pump action burgers?
Yes.
No, they have
Bad.
burgers with tons of onions though,
All
and
right.
really bad nacho cheese.
All right, to keep things
Wait,
moving
no.
here.
No, host, I need to know about the pump action onions.
Okay, that does sound good.
Okay, so pump action onions are very simple. Basically, what they do is they take a vague burger, and I say vague because they said it was beef, but I did have my questions. It did not look like beef, but I will say that when it comes to certain cultures, their concept of meat that is not fish kind of becomes vague. So I don't. It was some kind of a vague meat. I think it was beef, but setting that aside, it was good. And the onions were very good. What they did is they basically took a something along the lines of what you'd expect from a pump shotgun, right? And you just pump out about, say, half an onion worth of rings, unfried, but they were caramelized on top of the burger. It was very good.
Excellent.
I'm concerned by everything in that statement. Host, you can have your show back.
Yay! Okay, so Cleaver has fleas again. How do you distract him long enough to put flea drops on the back of his neck?
Okay, I do have an answer. I don't think I can say the answer. Let's go with something else here. The Cleaver specifically. He is. If we can distract him by getting him to talk about something stupid, then I think would be as long as you can keep his eye contact, which also that'd be a bit of a pain. But if you can keep him at least rambling, you can probably put some. Oh no, wait! I know exactly how you do it. You get him sloshed. You get him sloshed. He goes to sleep, and he never knows what happens. It happens all the time.
I also
It took me a
choose
second.
this guy's candidate.
Indeed. All right. Power round. Well, wait. No, we need to get an audience question from Rail. Then power round.
Yes.
This question is from Dr. Osophila. What is your ambush survival strategy?
Shadowcat. I am the ambusher.
Excellent. Alrighty. Power round. Crispy.
Yes. What crimes do you commit with a power washer?
Okay, so that is actually a fairly interesting concept. A power washer can be used for very interesting art that it can be used in the removal of paint. So the best way to go about that, I think, would take a very expensive car. You can find them all over the place in major cities. You take an expensive car and you find the one with the brightest paint job or the darkest. Either way, you just don't want it vague colored. Vague colored means doing something to it also turns out vague. And they have to wonder, was that actually supposed to be on the car or was that there after the fact? So get something where it's a definite distinction in the shades. And what we will do is we will start to use the power washer at point blank on this car, and we can draw out many different things. Obviously, some people would prefer to see slurs of different kinds put onto the cars. Others might draw memes. Personally, I think what I would do, I think I would, that's a good question. What would I put onto a car? I'm sorry, I don't have an answer for you there.
All right.
It's going to take more thought than I have the process for right now.
Just
all
say
right.
you ran out of brain. That's what I do.
Mad Ducks, power question.
You have found out that the current mayor has misplaced 10,000 units of crates of tacos. How do you cover up the previous mayor's incompetence?
Yes. So first of all, previous mayor, I'm behind him all the way. He's very good man, very good man, and I don't think he'd ever would have done such a thing. In fact, I would run a counter campaign to say that such a action never actually happened, and anyone who does say that such a thing happened is going to be put onto watch lists, and we're going to take action of, let's say, despicable nature, and we're going to, well, actually, okay, the perfect way to do this. You take the people that are saying that you did such a thing, or I'm sorry, the former mayor did such a thing, and we'll take the hidden tacos, we'll put them at their houses, and then we can frame them to say that they did it. That way, you not only can yeah, I don't
I
know English
approve
all
of
that
your
well.
plan. Misdirection.
Hooray.
Excellent. Squick, power question.
Imagine, if you will, a world in which you have invented shoes with tiny wheels in the back end. These aren't Heelys because they're pull start. Are you going for a V8 or a twin cylinder?
Okay. I have imagined this many a time, actually. And V8 would be fun, but V8 is going to be something that's a pain on the back. Because the way you do this is you don't actually have the motor on the shoe. You have the motor basically running a series of universal joints by way of your axle down to the shoe. And so what you'd want is something that's basically like a engine backpack. And the best one that you could probably get away with, I think, would be a rather small straight four, because it wouldn't take up a lot of space on the back, but it also would be rather it'd give you some power, because a parallel twin would be a little bit of a disappointment. I would think it'd be a little bit of a disappointment. But then again, you're probably going to end up falling flat on your back no matter what you do. So if you're going to go big, you might as well go V8. Personally, that was my plan.
Excellent. All right. Well, thank you for your time. Vote confused. Remember, if you want to confuse confused, vote confused because it'll confuse everyone. Any parting words?
Yeah, it was fun. Oh, parting words. So let me think. Confused does not want to be mayor, and that's why he really ought to be mayor, because having someone who's unwilling as the mayor is just going to make everything funnier, especially when they have to get to the debate stage, because I don't think he can actually turn down debate. That's my thought anyway. I might find that he's going to be playing Escape from Tarkov in the debate as well if he makes it there, but we will see. Goodbye, everybody.
Farewell. Back to the herd with you.
Goodbye.
Have fun.
All right, we are going to take another short break here because my dog is playing the fool. We'll be back in like 2 minutes, ladies and gentlemen.
Pet the dog and tell us about.
All right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen. I do apologize for that. The doggo was playing the fool. All right, we are going to grab our next candidate. Ah, yes. In comes Rad the Teeth Farmer. Rad the Teeth Farmer.
Hey, the
Red.
dentist clown.
Indeed.
I've been told to take y'all's teeth by the ox.
Suboptimal.
You have to subscribe
Many
to
have
my
tried.
OnlyFans.
You have succeeded.
Indeed. All right, so first up, my co-hosts here, Squick, Rail, Crispy, and Mad Ducks, and I will be interviewing you here. Welcome. And to begin, tell us your platform.
We are the Department of Utilities, Munitions, Bionics, Agriculture, and Silly Supplies. Our whole goal is only to take all the goob from everybody in the Aux.
A simple strategy, but will you be able to carry through with your promises?
We are trying to enforce a goob debt to everybody upon our being made mayor.
Excellent. So first, a basic question for me, and then we'll move on to each host one at a time. What will you do about our bean shortage?
Replace them with teeth.
Okay then.
You had to have
Interesting.
seen that one coming.
Crispy.
Yes. Being that
And
you,
back.
sir, are of clan persuasion, how do you intend to deal with groups of children descending into your sewer lair to defeat you in order to save the town from your fear-eating curse?
We plant them in the fields so we can harvest the teeth.
Simple but effective.
All right. Mad Ducks.
My dude, that's just a graveyard.
Rad,
Not wrong.
Rad, it's been a while. How are you?
Doing pretty good. How are
Good.
you doing, Ducks?
Yeah, ups and downs, more ups and downs. I have a question for you. What do you think of the incompetence and corruption of the previous mayor?
I think the previous mayor did pretty good. It doesn't seem like it would be a hard job wrangling all the cats that is the ox.
Some of them literal.
Indeed. Alrighty, a question from Mr. Squick.
You can't have my premium luxury bones. However, with that in mind, if you were able to replace the skeletal structure and nature of the primary life forms comprising the vast majority, as of last census, of the ox, with what unit of structure would the former calcium prison be replaced? And how would you finance this?
Tangled Christmas lights. There's plenty in the dump.
Indeed.
Bold but effective.
Rail, a question from our audience? Is Rail back?
First of all, I have spent good money on my teeth. You shall not have them. You will face the wrath of someone who grew up poor fighting over quarters, and I spent a lot more than a quarter. Secondly, what is the best candy bar / candy in general from Sventus Coyote?
First of all, everybody has to sleep sometime. I'll get those teeth. Second of all,
Huh.
probably Reese's. I like Reese's cups.
Joke's on you. I fight in my sleep. I have a king-size bed to protect my wife.
This is starting.
I see you two are Reese's made of culture.
Yes, Reese's are the peanut butteriest of chocolates, except maybe Butterfingers.
This took a lot of weird turns. I want to make sure I heard this right. That started with you can't have my teeth. I've made them perfect. How can I fuck them up with the best candy? And ended in an invite to a clown threesome?
What?
Yes.
Okay.
No! No!
I would take the moment to
That's what
advocate
I
for
call fucking
caramel
funny.
over peanut butter chocolate.
I'm almost a little surprised it took this long for this to happen, but don't you kink shame me.
Anyways.
Kink shaming is my kink,
Long
Rail.
before the TOS catches up to us.
Alrighty. So, onto a question from me. A bronze pole challenges you to battle. You may ambush him, or he may ambush you. Why is an Eastern European made out of bronze, and what is Hungry Hungry Hobo doing to explain all this?
I am clown.
Excellent answer. On to you, Crispy.
Yes. How many teeth can you juggle at once?
How many do you got?
At least a 300.
It's going to take a lot of practice, but I'll get there.
I like the determination.
Indeed. Mad Ducks.
I totally screwed up and closed my question. Screw it. Going to make something up live. You are put in charge of an advertising campaign for old folks' homes, for retirement homes, and you are put in charge of finding a marketable product for this old folks' homes filled with clowns, retired clowns. What product do you find that they need to sell them?
A rundown building beside a graveyard.
Very
mean-
on brand.
That works. I'd buy it.
Yes. Squick.
Every item that is meant for human consumption contains within it a list of ingredients. You have just been granted the power to remove one of them and replace it with potassium sorbate. Which item do you ruin and why?
Salt, because it's funny.
Sensible.
Reasonable.
Next question.
Indeedly.
Can
Honk,
you
honk.
can you recite the prior question?
All I remember is potassium sorbate.
Excellent. He has the memory of a politician. Rael, any questions from our chat?
This question is from Vox Darkstar. Is a hot dog a sandwich?
A hot dog is a taco.
Bold statement. Bold statement.
Nope, he speaks the truth. He goes by the cube rule of food identification. I can tell from that one answer.
Then you've
I
just made a
approve.
calzone or ravioli, you absolute madman.
Oh,
Sir, a
I
latte
want you
is
to
a
understand.
3-bean wet salad.
A calzone and a Pop-Tart are both raviolis.
Indeed.
Yeah, but a ravioli isn't. It's a sandwich.
Raviolis closed on all sides.
Moving on to
Not if
the
you bought him from Chef Boyardee, they aren't.
moving on to less mind-shattering questions. Candidate, do your eyeballs squish or floop?
Wiggle.
Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Alrighty. Crispy, your next question.
Ah, yes, of course. How many of yourself can you fit into a clown car?
Rads in general or clowns?
Yes. How many rads can you fit into one clown car? Or
Head to toe, 20.
What about a clown minivan?
Well, that's just double the size of a clown car, so 40.
Let it
I
be
see,
noted
I
to
see.
whoever quotes in chat, the term clown minivan scares me to no end.
It is
I
a
will keep that in
simple,
mind for our
rapid
next
deployment
change, Storm.
vehicle.
Yes. Mad Ducks, your question.
Ignoring the list, not because I lost it, misplaced it, and I lost the list. I'm not going to lie. Okay, so listen. Squick has just called you a clown bastard, which he does say to everyone, but this time it's ironic. What do you say?
How did you know?
I have
That
my sources.
That's actually really the only correct answer. Okay,
Interesting,
thank you.
interesting.
Yes. Everyone say hi to Diggs in the chat.
Hello, Diggs in the chat.
Indeed.
Happy birthday, Diggs. We love
Happy
you.
birthdays.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Diggs.
The San Francisco treat.
Toot toot.
All right, Squick, your next question for our candidate, Mr. Rad.
Oh, that's concerning. Honk honk shoe squeak honk? Question mark.
Shoe squeak, honk.
Bold. Zesty! I love it! But how do you plan to deal with the other dissidents?
Honk honk, shoe squeak, honk honk.
Ooh.
I see.
It would be a good source of teeth revenue.
Wait a minute. That's the last thing I heard on Space Station 13 before a clown chopped my arms off with a katana and shoved me out the airlock.
And
Rad?
that's terrifying, but I just had to hear the words teeth revenue with my own ears.
It's free real estate.
This
My
is true.
teeth
It's an
are
untapped
not
market.
real estate.
Rail, give us an audience question.
Ducks, you were disarmed, by the way.
This is a modification of Hippocampus Hamster's question due to relevance. How many white unmarked clown vans do you have in your employ?
I asked the question again, how many teeth do you have?
Well then, on to the power round. Crispy!
Yes. How do you protect the nuclear disk from the syndicate operatives boarding the station as a clown?
Eat it.
Excellent.
Mad Ducks.
You have the chance to fill every single mailbox within a 20-mile radius with soup. What is the funniest soup to fill the mailboxes with?
Potato.
Yeah, okay.
Mr. Squick.
If we were to accept the premise that the clown minivan is functionally just a high-speed delivery vehicle for the maximum number of clowns delivered in one immediate area, we can therefore conclude that the clown is a standard shock trooper designed to inspire fear in the enemies. How, therefore, do you justify their position in the circus as a worldwide network of operatives without allowing for Agent 47 to become nonfiction?
I am clown.
Well, he's got me there.
One last one from the audience, Mr. Rail.
In the
no.
vacant section, quack.
Honk.
Yes, plug goes here.
Last one then. Please say something nice about your opponent. Mean it. If you don't mean it, you won't come true.
I can say that I honestly have fantastic opponents, and I love each and every one of them, and their teeth.
Excellent. Well, the man with a plan is off to Oxalanistan? Anyways.
He's certainly given us a lot to chew on.
Indeed.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we had to bite the bullet on this one, but you gave us a good show.
He came in with a toothy grin.
And then he
Irish
started
cut his
mouthing
teeth on
off.
that.
Yep. Anyways, this interview's losing teeth, so have a good one, Rad.
While he's gone, it's time for today's dad joke, because Squick said a pun, now I've thought of it. It's
Oh,
Squick's
God.
fault this time. The
None of
results
this
from
is
my
my
home
fault.
DNA test have come back, and apparently I'm 50% vampire. I'm so ashamed I can't even look at myself in the mirror.
Womp, womp, womp,
Well, actually, if it was a modern mirror, you could see yourself in the mirror because the reason vampires couldn't see themselves in the mirrors is because originally mirrors were silver-backed.
No, I'm going to disagree. Like, you can stare at all the gorillas you want. You're not going to see yourself in them because a modern mirror is subscription-based and vampires don't understand home credit.
And
See, that's what people don't know about Harambe is like he saw the child was a vampire.
interesting.
Of all the timelines that we're in, this is one of them.
I
Indeed.
would watch Harambe Vampire Hunter.
Yes.
Well, bringing us up next is however you pronounce their name. Here, give me a second.
Just give it a guess and butcher it.
I will say I will pronounce it as Schrodem.
Schrodinger's cat.
Yes.
Welcome,
Your words
Srota.
anger the frog.
Schrodem, how are they do you?
Hello, fellow
Hello.
Southerner and survivor of many things that involve lots of blowing hot air. Some of them are storms.
Yes.
I'm not
Yes, they
hot. I'm cool.
His words, not
Yeah.
mine.
Yeah. I'm
we
staying
back
out of
to the
that one.
clown thing?
Anyways, welcome, Srota. Please tell us about your platform.
My platform is very simple. I am running on the Florida Hurricane Party Man's Party ticket thing. And our platform is as follows. I have made several promises. Only a few of them actually really matter. There may even be a couple repeated. They are that I have promised that we will put an end to a ban of Kegerator's in all mechs. We will mandate that big gulp-sized cup holders must be present in all urban mechs and hunchbacks for the storing of extra large containers of booze, of whatever choice you have, of booze you have. I promise an aux invasion of Disney, an end to Midwestern and Canadian oppression, no taxes, an increased insanity level and Florida Man energies. I promise to kung fu the next hurricane and any after that during my term in order to keep our people safe. And then I will use the said beaten hurricanes to throw them at Canada. I will also throw both alligators and crocodiles at the Legion whenever possible, because yes, we have both. And yes, I will use both. I will use every weapon in my arsenal to beat the Legion in any Aux versus Legion conflicts. I will send urban mechs to my supporters. Urban mechs may take some time to arrive. An increased number of pit vipers. I also promise not to give a shit about pretty much anything. I mean, including whether or not you vote for me. And I don't know, man. I guess I'll drink a beer for every person who votes for me. And make more absurd promises throughout this entire campaign season.
Excellent.
I also do promise that if I am elected, and this is a real thing, I will try to institute monthly pet contests where proud owners of pets can put up their pets for community vote. Each month, the winner of both the cutest and the silliest pet will get a pinned post in a channel. I will try to make that happen with all of my might, because while I don't own any pets, I know all of y'all who do love your pets, and they deserve more recognition within the auxiliary.
Excellent.
Bold strategy.
So, I am going to bring the first question then. Exemplis, our master and commander of the Aux, second only to Diggs himself, he has entered the chat. Now, I've noticed Exemplis has the same number of syllables in his name as Poseidon. Is this a coincidence?
No.
Explain.
Absolutely. Easy. He's the master and commander of the Aux. I mean, and Poseidon, the master and commander, is a reference to one of the greatest sea stories ever told, the Patrick O'Brian novels. Freaking amazing. And clearly, Poseidon, god of the sea. Sea story, master and commander. There you go.
Excellent. Exemplis, you are now a ship. Please take this into account at our next meeting.
Also a really great movie, by the way.
I love those movies. Crispy, movie. Crispy, your turn to ask a question.
Yes. So you've said about how you will defend against hurricanes, but tell me, how will you defend against the Category 5 spaghetti and skyline chili hurricane that is currently bearing down on Clearwater?
Easy. I will eat all of it because I like all of those things.
Are you prepared for that level of indigestion?
Yes, I am.
Bonus question: spread or saltine crackers?
Saltine.
Thank you.
Man, is a bold strategy.
Yeah.
Yes. So
mostly because saltine just doesn't mess with my stomach as much.
Lord Squickenstein.
The Sci-Fi Channel original documentary Dino Croc vs. Paragator featured the iconic duo of Dino Croc and Paragator fighting for supremacy. If elected, what would you add to this mix, and how would it make for a sequel to a sequel of a sequel that was not a sequel to the original?
Easy. I would throw water moccasins into the mix. I would throw a giant winged water moccasin, and then maybe a Florida man, just a regular Florida man, who would somehow beat all of them, because Florida man crazy.
Excellent.
Understandable.
I see.
Actually, it's Rail's turn. Rail, bring us a question from the chat.
This question is from Exemplis, who, if he is actually Poseidon, we will have words. But the question is, what about me and my blue collar?
What about you and your blue collar? I mean, sure. You can wear a blue collar. I'm not going to stop you. I don't give a shit, man. Like, do whatever you want. I don't care.
Interesting.
I feel this needs to be said, because Exemplis said it in chat, but it needs called out. Juice Springsteen!
Juice Springsteen? I mean, sure. I grew up near where the boss is from. Like, I grew up near there, and like, hell yeah, mix the boss with juice. Why not? Sure.
Excellent. Now, this next one comes from Big Mike, a major statistical analyst of the BPL and the Auxiliary. Based upon the current economic climate, tidal currents, and South African penguin migratory cycles, how do you, as mayoral candidate, plan on making up for the overall decrease in our gas station black rhinoceros ivory powder testosterone-infused creatine-enhanced male enhancement verbal sophistry production?
Easy. I plan to send teams out to go hunt more rhinoceros horn.
Well, that actually is a simple solution.
Yeah.
Good thing they're not endangered.
Yeah, definitely not. I mean, look, hey, if we don't tell anybody, ain't nobody gonna know, right?
Yes.
But anyway, maybe I can also promise to use my degree in physics and knowledge of physical chemistry to help research this and maybe come up with an alternate source, maybe some form of synthetic rhino horn, to help increase our production. Because as any chemist knows, you have limiting factors, so maybe we can increase that. And I would assume the rhino horn would be the number one limiting factor in production of these matters. I'd have to research it a little further, though, just to be sure.
All right. Excellent. So, Mr. Crispy.
Yes. How do you plan to fight the giant gigagators that are currently breeding within the Florida Everglades after the radioactive cocaine dumps of Pablo Escobar's ghost?
Oh, easy. I don't plan to fight them. I plan to weaponize them instead.
Do you think you can handle that much gator?
Concerning.
Oh, yes. I plan to weaponize them and use them against the Legion.
This is the correct answer. I will eat them. Excellent.
All right, so...
I mean, yes, they can be used as an emergency food source. They're certainly better than Fiesta Pale.
So, the mayor of Augsburg for the current moment, Mr. Mad Ducks, duck away.
Shota, I completely lost my list of questions, but no, this is better. One southerner to another. You know Boudin, right?
Yes, I know Boudin.
My question for you is two-pronged. One, smoked or regular? And do you sprinkle hot sauce or do you pour it out and dip it in hot sauce?
The answer is por qué no los dos? For whether it's smoked or any other form of cooked. I will take any Boudin that I can get at any time. And as for hot sauce, I mean, I say it's up to personal preference at that point. I mean, I can understand if you have ulcers and everything, just wanting to sprinkle it on instead.
Well, both are valid. Just for the record, for the audience who doesn't know and has no idea what I'm talking about, you can sprinkle, bite, or just fill a bowl with it and then just dip the Boudin in the hot sauce and then drink any hot sauce that is left, so as not to waste.
Yes. Also, as a corollary, if we do have an Ox invasion of Disney, I will bring gumbo that I made. Homemade gumbo.
Most excellent.
Anyone else having a Jesse, what the hell are you talking about moment?
Possibly.
A little bit.
They're just making up words.
What, gumbo? Yeah, all words are made up.
It's a gunbow. It's both a gun and a bow.
All words are made up.
Oh,
yes.
yeah, okay. Chewbacca's thing. Yeah, that's allowed in Star Wars language.
Anyways, Squick.
Ask him about boiled peanuts, quick. Ask him.
So here's the thing. I forgot I existed for a minute. So you're going to have to wait while processes kick back in.
No worries.
I will let those kick back in while Rail reads us something.
No, I am me, and I will download anyone who says otherwise. Now flex your meat and prepare your ear tubes, for questions abound. Within the universe, there are a number of constants, mathematical items, that would appear at first to be an aberration if they didn't continue repeating, showing up again and again in disparate contexts until such time as patterns begin to appear. The golden ratio, pi, two of the most famous examples.
Constructor constant, yes.
Yes. If you were to take one of these and describe it as a flavor, what flavor would it be and why?
Well, I'll start with the easy one. The flavor of pie is, of course, pumpkin. The flavor of the fine structure constant, however, is potato. And of course, finally, for the mass of an electron is, I would say, probably, or the golden ratio. I think both of those are probably the same, and they are 4.
Excellent. So does that mean it's safe to put the fine structure constant in the microwave?
Yeah, absolutely. Why not?
Okay, good to know.
I'll
Thank
write
you.
it on a piece of paper, and you can put it in any microwave you want.
Well,
Excellent.
now that physics has been put in the microwave and apparently Whacker is being downloaded, Rail, bring us a question from the audience.
I will point out that I do have a degree in physics, by the way.
I'm beginning to suspect that.
Yes, this is good.
This question is from Dr. Osophilia.
Okay.
What solution do you propose to the looming shortage of grain alcohol within Oxlandia, given the recent party scene boom?
Hold up. Did Dr. Bone Lover just ask what kind of booze you like?
I mean, I can answer both. In fact, happily so. I plan to subsidize the production of grain alcohol within the Ox because we need more alcohol to fuel our shenanigans. And in fact, I will subsidize the production of anything that allows them, that increases the insanity level of the Ox and the hilarity level of the Ox. Now, as for my favorite type of alcohol, easy. It's what I'm drinking right now, Scotch. Currently I have a 12-year Macallan, but you know, I have my favorite, hands down, would be either Oban or a 21-year Balvenie.
I don't know what any of those mean. How fancy are they?
Those were indeed words.
They were fancy scotches, yes.
Well,
nice.
I'm going to add one more question from chat before I continue, and account for this understanding that I'm 7'3", mostly made of muscle, fairly handsome, and extremely attractive. Whacker asks, question for Sroda. Given Storm's substantial body mass, how much has the Earth's rotation slowed since his inception?
I'd have to run the numbers on that. I'll get back to you in like a day.
Oh, okay, excellent. I'll send you my measurements. Anyways, what? No.
Sounds good.
So my next.
You can't see, but I was waggling my eyebrows.
Oh my god. So the next question. You are familiar with Mr. Haleon, yes?
Yes.
Why does he keep insisting on raising force fields around Crispy?
That I don't know, but I promised to form a committee to investigate the creation of a committee to find out.
Committee commissions are committable. With that out of the way, Crispy, now that there's no force field around you for the moment, what's your next question?
Yes, I would like to know if you had to fuse Storm Song and Whacker into a Quado-like being from Total Recall, who would be the one in the torso?
Oh, that's a tough one. I would say first they would have to fight a duel to find out. I'd make them fight a duel, and then
I would say rock paper scissors would be a.
Rock paper scissors counts as a duel. I would say it's a duel of intelligence and psychic powers.
I don't know if Whacker's lobster claw-like hands would be able to necessarily participate in the duel, but
well, he could he could participate as scissors in all times.
Indeed. Alrighty.
I mean, scissors is always a valid answer for rock paper scissors.
Yes. Duckburg. Ducks.
Yes. Sorry, I just drank some hot sauce.
Nice.
So, Schroeder, you live in the South, right?
Yes.
You go to gas stations. Yes. You see boiled peanuts at the gas station, typically about $2.50 to $2.98 a pound. Yes. Excellent. When you get there, you get to the display that has the can of steaming hot boiled peanuts. How do you make sure that they are fresh before you purchase a pound of boiled peanuts?
Well, typically I would look at the timestamp because all hot foods have to be timestamped for consumption and go with the one with the most recent timestamp. However, as I am diabetic, I tend to avoid the consumption of peanuts as they have a high sugar content. So unfortunately, I would not be buying any peanuts. That said, again, I would check the timestamp on the food.
Excellent.
False. It's in
How
a bucket.
the hell are
You walk
boiled
up with a
peanuts
scoop.
real?
Squick, I will
Because
show you more
someone
pictures of
hates
boiled peanuts.
No,
God.
don't send
Yeah.
me pictures. Somebody misunderstood coffee, which is already a cursed beverage. Like, what if we got this part of the plan and then cooked it real bad, and so it was bad, and then we got it damp, and then we drank the
Squick is wrong.
squeezins?
Squick is wrong. We're moving along.
Alrighty. Well, that brings us to a question from, Squick.
Yes, the ball is in my court, and it's time for full court Thunderball, which was, of course, a movie featuring a famous gentleman of some description. I believe he did crimes, but they weren't really crimes because he had a pass that was basically, I can do what I want because uh, look, international spies can just do that. It's legal when they do it, but if you're a 7 foot tall, like, robo lurch that can bite a cable car cable in half, then you're going to have a bad time. So, if you were working for one of the members of Spectre, what would your gimmick be?
Well, first of all, I would like to point out that there's an excellent parody of said gentleman by Charles Stross. Phenomenal. His second book specifically is a parody of those, and it is phenomenal. My gimmick would probably be some form of power related to brilliantly colored floral shirts of some kind and the possession of pit vipers. I don't know, maybe I'd shoot beams out of them. Honestly, I would probably just be henchman number 3.
You're just showing up strutting in like Laser Columbo.
Yeah, I just want to do my job, get out of there, get my paycheck, you know.
Yeah, understandable.
Yeah. That's not the attitude I would bring to mayorship, though. I want to be clear. That is a job. Mayorship is a calling. There is a difference.
So,
One has a phone?
Yes.
So
Yes, one does involve heavy use of a phone.
we have a surprise question from someone else in our chat. A question for Sroda. How may his party deal with the other parties after the election if he wins? Will he grant them employment, banishment, meme work?
I would say I don't give a shit what they do. I mean, honestly, if they want to create memes for me, they can. In fact, you know, whatever. Look, man, I don't give a shit. I'm just going to get drunk, you know?
Excellent. Well,
Oh yeah, brother.
I feel like we're back to Laser Columbo.
Yeah, pretty much.
Rail, give us an audience question.
It's the question that everybody's going to get asked, and it is, who does the candidate choose to represent them in a trial of combat in the WBPLW ring?
I mean, if I choose anybody, I choose John Cena, because John Cena always wins. But failing John Cena, I choose Superman. I'm failing Superman because he is a fictional character, so I will allow that. I would understand if that is not allowed. I choose Roman Reigns, because he always wins as well.
Perhaps John Superman is simply good enough at his job that we do not know of his existence, requiring the creation of a fictional Superman universe from someone he saved in order to create the mythos around him.
You know, that is, I never thought of that. But then, what do you do about Batman?
Also, I am reminded that you said Laser Columbo earlier. This does make me happy.
Also, I would choose Batman as well, if fictional characters are allowed. Superman or Batman, if fictional characters are allowed. If real people are required, I choose Roman Reigns or John Cena, whichever of the two is allowed. I understand if you can't find John Cena, he is invisible.
Indeed, we can't see him. Anyways, that brings us around to my question. Modern physics has a problem when it comes to the reconciliation of physics at the greatest scale as well as at the smallest scale. Many people have attempted to link the two, but it has been proposed that this imbalance, this mismatch in the fundamental fabric of reality, is an indicator that though we believe we live in a world as we perceive it, we are in fact living in a simulation. This observation may be disquieting to many viewers as it creates a set of circumstances that causes us to question every facet of our existence. If reality doesn't truly exist, does anything we do matter is a frequent question. With that said, can you please explain to the audience, what kind of game are we living in and what's your high score?
Well, first of all, we don't live in a game. While that is an interesting philosophical question, there are significant enough logical fallacies within that to disprove it. But if we did live in a game, I would say we would have to live in SimCity of some kind, some kind of sim game, because there's too many hard and fast rules. And of course, my high score would be like 20 out of like a possible 999999999.
Indeed.
And
Alright.
I'm okay with that, you know?
Excellent.
I'll just do my thing.
Okay. Power round. Crispy.
Yes. Would you drink Malort tequila?
No, because tequila messes with my stomach, but I would mix it with something else instead. So I would mix the Malort with something else, but no tequila. It messes with my tummy
You
too
kept
much.
the Malort.
I mean, look, if I don't have to drink it, I wouldn't, but if I had to, I would.
Yes.
Duck.
Florida man moment. You're on the beach. There's a bonfire. You have an extension cord and 12 box fans. What do you do to Florida man it up?
You put the box fans on you and become box fan man, and try and take over the fire and make it even bigger by blowing air out of your box fans.
Excellent.
At it.
Excellent. I would have also accepted fire tornado.
Yes,
Indeed.
fire tornado would be a good choice as well. I'm sure you could do it as box fan man.
Yeah, you can. It has been done. It's great. Moving on.
Now, for God's most charismatic dragon, Squick.
See, I had something, and then I realized that Dux was going for Fire Tornado, but then Box Fan Man, as you become the $5 Mega Man villain, kind of drove all rational thought from my
I'm
head.
here
This
for
is
that.
excellent.
Oh,
what do we have?
I'm pretty sure there are worse Mega Man villains that are actually canonical.
Well, yeah, that's just like Fan Guy or whatever.
Yeah.
Yes.
But anyway, if you had the power of Florida in some sort of space magical girl adventure, what power is that, and how do you avoid getting the show canceled in the middle of episode 1?
There is no avoiding it, unfortunately, because the power of Florida is the power of insanity and cocaine and bath salts. And unfortunately, there's no way to make a show out of that. They tried on Netflix. It doesn't end well. It was not a good show. That show, Florida Man, was not good.
That is unfortunate.
But if I had to go within the realm of magical girl, like space adventure stuff, I'd probably say it would be some form of wand that turns into basically an anti-tank rifle of some kind.
Ah, yes, love, compassion, friendship, 30mm anti-tank rifle. And unicorns.
They exist as animes. I used to be the historian of my anime club in college.
That is.
So
I've
you
seen
have
them.
prior leadership experience.
Yes, I
excellent.
do.
Role.
I was also in Boy Scouts for many, many years, and was a member of the Order of the Arrow.
Brohoof. By which I mean Brofist.
Brofist, yes.
Aw, yeah.
I've downloaded both of your
www.
bones.
Oh,
Your
God!
fists are mine. Give me your skeletons.
I
Well,
shall melt now. Goodbye.
Speaking of low-quality Mega Man villains, on to Janitor Man with something from chat.
Is that?
Yes.
Oh no.
Just go.
What? This is a question from Whacker. What is Crispy's favorite flavor of force field?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I mean, how can I answer that? I cannot read his mind. I am box fan man. I am not psychic man. Crispy, why don't you tell us?
That's a loaded question because Whacker's being a fucking dick right now.
That's fair. The answer, of course, that I would give, my favorite flavor of force field is purple.
Wunderbar. All right.
The Mace Windu defense.
Yes.
I want that purple stuff.
Well, bring us to our final question. Please say something nice about your opponents and mean it. If you don't mean it, you won't come true.
I will say that I genuinely appreciate every single opponent that I've come up with. Everyone here genuinely cares about the Auks and wants to shitpost and have fun with us all. And I think no matter who you vote for, we will have an excellent mayor or a really bad mayor, whichever you prefer. I think genuinely voting for anybody is a good choice. That is why I don't give a crap whether or not you vote for me, because no matter who wins, we will genuinely have a good mayor.
Yes.
Somebody on par with Mad Ducks.
All right.
for awesomeness as mayor.
Well, remember, ladies and gentlemen, this broadcast is brought to you with the support of viewers like you and also the Donner Party Diner, where the main flavor is you. We thank you for your time, Sroda, and good luck on your mayoral candidacy.
If I may say one thing, I want to thank each and every one of you for your time as well. Hosting these debates such as these is an essential part of the democratic process, and I really appreciate it. Thank you all.
Why, thank you.
Thank you. I salute you, Box Fan Man.
Thank you.
Indeed.
Box on Man, away!
Yeet!
Oh, you do be flying.
Indeed. All right. That brings us to our next victim. One Granite Elephant. Welcome, Granite Elephant. You are now a victim of our behaviors and devices.
Oh, hello.
Anyways,
Hello.
welcome. Interviewing you today shall be
Hello.
Crispy, Squick, Rail, myself, and Mad Ducks. Please, tell us about your platform.
Well, I don't have a platform, but my dog does. I am here as a representative of my dog Cisco. He's running for mayor.
He's got my
because
vote. Good interview.
Who doesn't want to have a cute little German Shepherd as the mayor of the auxiliary? How much trouble could he get into? The answer is a lot of trouble, but it's the fun kind of trouble.
Excellent.
His platform: naps in the sunspot on the floor, boops to snoots, and copious amount of Cheetos.
Goober Strike, do bear in mind that we will return your rock pachyderm before too long. We have work to do. And Cisco is, in fact, the goodest boy. So,
Confirmed.
with that said, let us move on to some questions from our panelists. Crispy.
Yes. What is Cisco's thoughts towards cats?
He's generally pretty cool with them. He likes to keep his distance, but if they come up to him and they're not being overtly hostile, he's just gonna give them a boop on the snoot and maybe a lick on the head. He's a pretty good boy.
Excellent.
Excellent. Mad Ducks.
Granted, we have seen pictures of your dog. If you are elected, will we receive extra pictures of your dog or a consistent supply of pictures of your dog?
1000% yes. I'm
Was I
also willing
supposed
to
to ask
DM if people ask specifically for.
Excellent. I don't know if I was supposed to ask a question or not. I had the chance.
No, that was your question. Yay! Mr. Squickenstein.
So it's just what? Sneaking into your DMs to get pictures of your dog?
Yeah,
I mean,
just
That's-
yes.
Yeah, it's a pretty good trade. What can you tell us about this dog? And can you pet them? And can we pet them?
Well, if you're ever in my neck of the woods and you let me know ahead of time, I can probably arrange a meeting with the potential mayor and you. So yes, you could pet him. I cannot pet him right now. He is at his grandparents' house at the moment because my wife and I have plans tomorrow morning. But yes, he gets lots of pets. I have demonstrated this in the auxiliary multiple times when people tell me to pet that dog.
Yay.
I do.
That does seem important.
Alrighty. Then.
I do see several pets being redeemed in chat, so you're going to have to bank those for later.
I will post video in the auxiliary once I pick him up, probably tomorrow afternoon or Sunday morning.
Excellent.
Yes. Now, given that you're clever enough to use such unfair tactics as running a dog for mayor, I do have to ask you then a question that only a clever man could answer. You, of course, know Vendrette, our lovely male Irby mech that is running against you, yes?
I'm aware, yes.
Who keeps filling his mailbag with soup?
I'm going to plead the fifth on that one. It's not me. But I think I might know who it is.
Convincing.
Thank you for not ratting me out.
What? Anyways, Rail, audience question, now!
This is a question from Lord Grimos. Will the auxiliary have an official stance on mandatory trait rations for the auxiliary armed forces in the field?
We can talk about it. We might have it'll be a hard sell because the goodest boy wants all the treats for himself, but he has also been known to share in the past.
Also, a personal question for me. What that dog doing?
That dog probably taking a nap on a couch that I wasn't allowed to take a nap on as a child because my mother likes my dog more than I do, more than she likes me. Correct.
Yes. Well then, this just in, a word from our sponsors, there are hot single Grimoses in your area. Anyways, moving on. A question from Crispy.
Yes. Would Cisco, your boy, be able to fetch the largest of bones from a dinosaur if the skeletons from all the dinosaur museums were suddenly come to life?
I don't know how successful he'd be, but he'd sure as hell try, and he'd give it his best effort. He's just the little guy.
Excellent.
Yes. Very well. Mad Ducks.
Granted, you and your dog have found yourself confronted with the supervillain Box Fan Man. How do you defeat him or redirect him long enough to leave Costco?
We've actually had this situation before when I brought Cisco to the pet store for his gotcha day. He just kind of sat down in front of it and enjoyed the breeze before trying to pee on it and walking away.
Peeing on Box Fan Man. Fair enough.
Okay then. On to Grandmaster Squick.
When I was growing up, I had a wide variety of entertainments afforded to me by the time and place I was in. One of these was a Nintendo 64, a console of an older generation, but one that was remarkably robust. I too had a dog, and they peed in the air vents of the Nintendo 64. Nonetheless, it continued to work for several years unabated. Do you believe if the candidate you represent were to pee in modern electronics, that said electronics would be able to continue to operate unimpeded for a substantial period of time?
I'm gonna go as far as to say that this is a non-issue because Cisco is the goodest boy and doesn't pee on things that belong to other people, except for light posts and bushes.
Understandable.
Indeed. All right, that brings me to our next audience question, Mr. Rail.
You know it, you love it. It's time for that question. Who does the candidate choose to represent them in a trial of combat in the WBPLW ring?
Beeple Chan.
Yes! Someone said it finally!
Mark it off your bingo cards, kids!
Alrighty.
Who better to represent the cutest good boy in the world than the cutest antagonist in the ring?
Excellent.
But I'm over here.
Your dog has healing power, and she has healing power. Anyways, on to the next question. Over the past 50 years, scientists and researchers have been studying the evolution of dinosaurs and come to the conclusion that the non-avian dinosaurs eventually developed into modern-day birds. This is a remarkable development as we look at the range of modern birds today, ranging from penguins to chickens to eagles to cassowaries. To think that the albatross shares a lineage with the T-Rex is probably the most bizarre and fascinating thought that evolution provides for us. My question to you is this. At what point did the US government replace all the birds with drones, or do you think that the dinosaurs were drones too?
1984.
Excellent. Next question, Crispy.
Yes. Ham or steak? Which do you give the goodest boy?
Depends on the day. If he's been a particularly good boy, and we went and did something that would be stressful for him, that good boy gets steak.
Yay!
If it's just another Tuesday, he's probably gonna get ham roll or maybe some eggshells. He really likes eggshells.
Yay.
They got the crunch.
They got the crunch and they got all kinds of calcium, and they're just good for your doggos.
Also, Zaiku has sent us a picture that everyone in chat should look at. Anyways, moving on.
That's not that good boy at all.
Yep. All right, so Mad Ducks.
I had a question and then I lost the question. Then I thought of a different question, which I forgot. So I'm going to make up another question on the spot and pretend that it was the first question. Question. You stepped away for a moment, took a series of pictures to evidence drinking a whole bowl of hot sauce for a meme, and then posted the pictures online. Now your hand still smells like hot sauce. Everything smells like hot sauce. How do you make everything stop smelling like Valentina's extra hot sauce?
Dawn. You got to go with the Dawn. It's good. If it's good enough for penguins, it's good enough for me.
So do I apply it directly to my sinuses, or like how does this work?
It's like head on. You apply it directly to the
I have
forehead.
hot sauce in my sinus cavities, sir. It's all up in my nose meats. So I apply the Dawn directly to the nose meats.
Apply the Dawn directly to the nose meats.
Okay,
This
thank
is
you.
not medical
Thanks for the-
advice.
Thank you.
And
Totally, definitely not.
And a quick reminder to everyone, keep on with the Goob drive. We are 66% of the way there with only 13 days left. Our next question will be Mr. Squick.
All hail Goobulon! There are, of course, certain fundamental differences between the world as experienced by the bipedal dominant life form and the standard canine member of the companion race. One of those being that in traditional circles, most dogs are not taught the fundamental tenets of capitalism as it does not pertain directly to their lifestyle. Do you believe that with sufficient training and or motivation, Cisco could be taught to participate in the stock market or become a world-leading investment banker?
I think he could. He's already, if you ask my wife, he is already a world-renowned fashion consultant. I don't think finance is that much more complicated than fashion, but I am not a fashionista, so I don't really know for sure.
Good to know. But does that affect the amount of time required for food to be on the floor before it becomes legally theirs for consumption?
Say that one more time. You broke up.
But does that affect the amount of time that food must be on the floor for it to be legally theirs for consumption?
So Cisco is not allowed in my kitchen in my apartment because it's just too small, and he is very underfoot. But he knows that as soon as I am out of the kitchen, anything on the floor is fair game. It's not a question of time on the floor as much as time away from dad. If there's food on the floor and dad is not there, the Cisco may enjoy.
Then they have learned temporal-based ownership concepts with a three-dimensional reference grid component. This is very good. I believe they may be overqualified.
All right. A question from the audience.
This is from Zippy McTarget. Tennis ball or frisbee?
Soft squishy toy. He's got a fire hose that he is absolutely in love with chasing. He doesn't like hard toys. He's got some dental issues that we need to deal with.
Yes.
That's why he should be mayor. The insurance.
Yeah, that checks out. Although the insurance really only covers resurrection by necromancer, just so you know.
Okay.
That's still better insurance than he has right now.
Yeah, that means you can save big time on, like, fancy meals.
Yes. If you could ask me a question, do not ask yourself, what do you ask the audience if they were your opponent? Are they?
I don't think Cisco really has opponents, just people that want pets.
Excellent. All right, we're on to the power round. Crispy, go!
How many fire hydrants would Cisco pee on if needed?
All of them. He would try to pee on all of them.
Excellent. Excellent.
Mad Ducks, what's that question you keep forgetting?
I actually remembered the question. Granted, as a candidate, I need to know, what do you think about all of the corruption and the incompetence of the previous mayor?
I don't think my opinions on the current previous mayor's corruption are relevant. I think that is a question for Cisco, and I think he looks up to the current mayor and thinks he can do better.
Acceptable.
He wants Tritos. He does a lot of things for Tritos. He probably wouldn't sell his body for Tritos, but if you send him a kickback now and then, he might grease he might grease the wheels and make whatever your pet project is go a little bit quicker. Tritos.
Squick.
I would like to pet the dog.
Come up my neck of the woods.
No, that is inconvenient. Give me $10.
Do you accept milk bones?
That is. I believe we can come to an arrangement.
Hit the
Oh.
DMs. We'll figure it out.
Are they capable, in your estimation, of catching their legendary adversary, the tail?
He's done it. I've seen it. It was very confusing.
Excellent. They have become the donut of victory.
Excellent. This brings us to one more question from the audience.
This is a question from the Night Owl. Does Cisco cooperate in putting on the harness?
He does. He gets really excited for putting on his harness because that means he gets to go on an adventure. And if there's anything that dog likes more than food, it's adventures.
Yes.
Ooh, I have an important follow-up.
Yes?
Are they more of a sniff sniff walk or a neum sniff sniff?
Sniff, sniff, neum, sniff, sniff till I'm at the end of his leash, then neum up to the next sniff, sniff at the end of the leash. We kind of do a leapfrog situation on our walks.
Excellent.
Excellent.
And final question for you, Granite. Please say something nice about your opponents. Mean it. If you don't mean it, you won't come true.
They're all putting up admirable campaigns. I think some of them have put in a lot of pretty good work and come up with some pretty solid memes. Cisco's still not impressed, though.
Understood. Laudable, even. So, that brings us to the end of the questions for Mr. Granite Elephant and his dog, Cisco.
Storm Song.
Yes?
Question 38.
Question 38. Oh, right. Well, okay, you know what? I have to read you two questions.
Questionception. Do it.
Right. Okay. First of all, before we leave you behind, Mr. Elephant, have you contemplated the deeper implications of your place in this community, or for that matter, the cosmos? Is it as though your fate is on a strange thread, led by an immutable hand that carries the eons gone by and yet to come? If you met that hand and it wanted a high five, could you even begin to make your own hand big enough for it to feel you in all your immeasurable puniness?
I feel as though I am aware of that which is pulling the threads of my existence within the auxiliary. I made a shitpost, and that hand made me a moderator. I'm still not sure why. I've come to embrace this.
Indeed. Now,
I enjoy my proximity to the red names.
the follow-up question: why can't Granite Elephant seem to forget? Is it because of the vast hand from question 4 keeps pulling him along?
No, it's less complicated than that. It's just elephants. Elephants have real good memories. We don't forget things.
Excellent. Well then, a good day for you, my good sir. And please, you pachyderms are very big and very respectful, so please don't step on the other candidates.
Real quick, I'm gonna throw a link in the chatty chat for everyone in the chatty chat asking for boops to the snoots. I don't have any currently because, like I said, the dog is at his grandparents' house. But here's some boops.
Show us the historical dog archive.
Indeed.
Show us them boops.
You will be thanked for your boops. Now,
I'll have to go find it. Hang on.
yes,
But
feel
no,
free to put it in the chat. Have a good one.
I need it.
All right, we are going to take a short break, ladies and gentlemen. Stretch, get water, do what you need. We'll be back in 5 minutes.
When we build up I know I'm gonna be the best warship was built for you. When we set out, I know I'm gonna be the best warship that sails for you. When we spot them, I know I'm gonna be the best warship that will take point. And if we take heat, I know I'm gonna be the best warship to take that heat. Oh, I would block 800 rounds, and I could block 800 more just to be the ship that took 1,600 rounds and sunk them down below. When we're working, I know I'm gonna be the warship working hard for you. And when the fleet comes, I know I'm gonna block every round they ever throw. When we take heat, you know I'm gonna be the ship that comes down to save you. And if they sink me, well, you know I'm gonna be the ship that takes one more with me. 'Cause I would block 800 rounds, and I could block 800 more just to be the ship that took 1,600 rounds before I up and blow. Run now, 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 run now. When they pen me, I know I'm gonna be the warship tells them I'll fuck you. And when they struck me, I know I'm gonna be the ship that fires torpedoes. When I go out, well, you know I'm gonna be the ship that's shooting torpedoes. When they sink me, yes, I know I'm gonna be the ship that sinks a couple more. I'm gonna be the ship that sinks way fucking more. 'Cause I would block 800 rounds, and I would block 800 more just to be the ship that took 1,600 rounds before I up and blow. Run now, run now, run now, run now, run now, na 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 na. Run now, run now, run now, run now, run now, na 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 na. Run now, run now, run now, run now, run now, na 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 na. Run now, run now, run now, run now, run now, na 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 na.
And I have melodica over here.
All right, we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Okay then. We have two totally qualified nerds left, and Crispy's back.
Yes.
So, joining us next, second to last of our group, one Mr. Vendrette.
Mail time, mail time, mail time, mail time.
You have been summoned.
Wonderful. Hello.
Hey, Vendrette.
Hello.
As you know, I am Stormsong. Here are Squick, Crispy, Mad Ducks, and Rail to interview you.
Good afternoon.
Alrighty. So, with that, please give us your platform.
I am Vendrette, the postal mech. I deliver your mail. And I guarantee to deliver your without fucking around. Unless you fuck. More seriously though, within the aux, I don't really plan to do much. Set up events, give myself a nice blue color, and I mean that's about it. You know? Not mess around and change people's names. That's rude. That's something that Cleaver would do.
I mean, yes, who here would ever change anyone's names? Certainly not me or Crispy.
Definitely
Anyways, moving on to our first step of questions. Crispy.
Yes. How do you plan on dealing with the growing crisis of mimic mailboxes?
Oh, that's an easy one. As you know, I'm a postal mech, right? And the mimics, they're only small-sized mimics, maybe medium-sized mimics. They cannot take being stomped on.
Hmm.
And if they can, well, then I've got bigger problems, and we might be looking at mimic mech as well. I've been trying to get Billy to come to the Aux, but I I don't know. I think Lizard Mom already has him down in the mines.
Ah, excellent.
What if the urban mech was a mimic?
Oh,
It's perfect.
I what if I'm the could
Well,
I be a mimic?
Hello
Before
there, brethren.
before our candidate begins to have an existential crisis, moving on to a question from Mad Ducks.
Oh, that's right. I'm supposed to do the thing. Do you contain fluid or bones? Unless you are soup, it cannot be both.
You the postal mech jockey or you the postal mech?
You,
All right.
candidate.
So the candidate, yes. The candidate likely is both. It contains both and is indeed a soup that's in a chilled, semi-liquid form.
Excellent.
A car, for example, does have both, as I'm
A
sure
car
you
is a
know.
ravioli.
Ooh, I like this.
Indeed.
Lord von Quickenstein, your question. Oh, yeah, you had something to add, Vendret.
A continuation on that with the ravioli idea. I imagine I could use cars to lure Billy to the Aux in my favor.
Excellent.
Billy being the Black Marauder, for those unaware.
Ah. Alrighty then. Well then, that brings us to a question from the audience, Mr. Rail.
What? No, no, filibuster. I will fight the audience. This is my question. And I am happening because one of the previous members or candidates or look, some jackass just filled every mail container with soup. All of them. It wasn't even gazpacho because that would have been funny. But it was some kind of lump food. And now it's
It was
in all of
potato
them.
soup.
And now it's a you problem because you are the postal mech. So, my question to you is how are you a floating head that occasionally manifests part of a torso? Because that's working out pretty well for you, but also has to be super inconvenient.
I mean, don't no more questions. You know.
Understandable.
Squick.
Alright.
It was potato soup.
Yep. You don't put potatoes in the mailbox, you put them in the microwave, and that's how they become potato soup because they're basically hand grenade popcorn.
That'd be the
Thinking about
tastiest
the
mail I
bacon.
ever received. Anyways, now on to the rudely interrupted audience.
They knew what they were getting into.
Indeed.
This is from Danger Mitten. How do you plan to handle mail fraud, either to further or reduce it?
It would appear that I was unaware that was the question that was to be asked. I have already responded to him in chat with, yes, we plan to do things, unless you, the voter, are against, well, thing.
Follow-up
mean-
question then.
Okay.
What material do you think storm socks are made out of?
Storm socks. I would hope they're made of storm cloud. I mean, that's obviously the best, most obvious option here.
They are very
But-
soft.
But storm clouds, I imagine, well, yeah, they're made of liquid, the sky.
Clouds are made of
Humans.
butter and tears.
Oh, delicious. It sounds delicious.
Yes. That brings us to your next question. Dilk or pilk?
Oh.
All right, so to be clear here, dilk refers to dog milk, while pilk refers to pig milk, right?
Nay, they are Dr. Peppermilk and Pepsi Milk.
Oh,
Oh, I thought it was for damn I love cocaine.
I mean, possible.
Neither of those really sound that bad to me. I do intend to drink them eventually. Um, I was worried that this year's customary drink was going to be Malort, and I had some of that before coming in, and it was a bad choice. Don't do it. It's just not. It's just not. Now to answer your question, I'm probably gonna go with Dilk first because that seems to be the one that's actually a challenge right now. And I'm sure the postal party could use those 15 extra votes just to get a leg up.
Yes.
Or get on level playing ground with everyone else who's already done it.
Indeed. All right. Crispy, the one who brings us Furbies, your next question.
Yes. How many Furbies can I ship at once?
How much money do you have?
Enough.
How big's a
Like, can I
box?
fill a shipping container?
No,
And can
okay,
I
so
deliver that to someone's house?
okay, so you actually want like okay, so I could do the
Let's
math
just say
for
there's a
you,
certain
but
whacker that I wish to deliver a shipping container full of Furbies to.
all right, you can indeed ship a shipping container. It's going to be expensive as it's not a standard volumetric size. Boxes full of things inside a shipping container.
Hmm.
And,
Well, let's
uh,
see it. I mean, they're going to probably be in eggs, so
oh, they're going to be mixed in with eggs or powdered eggs?
no, they are in the eggs. It's like if you've seen Alien, it's going to essentially be like that.
Oh, that sounds like a lot of effort and
Well,
money
yes, but
spent
this
on
is it's
Furbies.
not about the efficiency, it's about sending a message.
Well, the Free State Postal Party guarantees that we will ship your shipping container. You just have to provide the container and the Furbies and probably some eggs.
Excellent. Maddox.
And of course an address to actually bring it to.
Ah, yes. Maddox, your next question.
Mail-related question. You are tasked with mailing a thoroughly lubricated clown with a stamp on its forehead. What is the fastest way that you deliver this clown using your postal urban mech? And we're going to pretend that it's not rad, but it is totally rad.
Does it have to arrive intact?
Not specified by the sender.
Alive? Also
Not specified by the sender.
Well,
stamp on forehead, lubricated clown, deliver.
I'm going to assume for the hypothetical, clearly a hypothetical here, that the stamp covers enough postage, or they paid the postage required for the size of the said clown separately from the stamp, and the stamp was just kind of like an ornament. We would probably load it into a hollowed out AC-10 shell, because as you know, the postal mech does indeed have an autocannon class 10 that it uses. While patrolling, while delivering mail, we don't like to have it armed normally. Normally, we keep it loaded with potato shells that are just hollowed out shells full of potatoes. They aren't lethal unless they hit you. So put him in there, just have to get within range, and we're good. Could try using one of the AC/2 variant ones, but I don't think, unless we dismember the clown before putting him into the shells, I don't think we're fitting him in those shells.
Fair enough.
Yes. All right. Squick.
The phrase down to clown is often used in today's society, but can that be extrapolated to mean download to clown load? Because that sounds like a cursed laundry proposition. And I believe that a number of laundering items do go through the mail, hence money laundering along with money orders. So if you were to order things through the internet, how would you deliver them to yourself?
That is indeed a loaded question here. I If I was to order things through the internet, I would try to have a third-party carrier deliver it, so I don't have to do any of the work whatsoever. And if it comes with free shipping, even better. Um, if that's, if the third-party carrier ends up having me deliver it for the last mile, I guess I just kind of deliver it to the inside of my mech. That seems like the best option.
Interesting.
Okay. Rail, give us an audience question.
Oh boy, I have so many to pick out.
Okay, take two.
Excellent.
Use two.
But actually, we're just gonna go with Night Owl's question. Do postal inspectors fuck around? And follow-up question for me, do they find out?
All right, so postal inspectors do not fuck around. You do not want to encounter one ever. You all may be familiar with one Zip Winchester. That was a very spot on description of one. Admittedly, a little bit antiquated and drummed up. But fairly well spot on. Postal inspectors are not to be trifled with. They themselves do not find out. But anyone who does fuck around with them will most certainly find out. It is not a good time. And for those who have the question, been asked this, have I ever encountered one? The answer is no. Because again, you don't want to fuck around with a postal inspector. Because you will find out. Do everything you can to ever avoid dealing with them. They're also super lazy, from what I've heard, which checks out as a government employee. So you find out a lot quicker than you might otherwise with other law enforcement.
Yes. Alrighty then. I will read a question from Mr. Grimos here. Vendrette, in regards to the auxiliary postal guard armaments, will we finally be obtaining double heat sinks for our workhorse mechs? Medium pulse lasers make a lot of heat. Also, when shall we be updating the mail truck with a fusion engine and medium laser?
Well, thank you for the question, Mr. Grimos. The best we can do about those double heat sinks that you're attempting to requisition is the cast-off Davion prototype double heat sinks, which I think required liquid cooling something or another, and that's why they didn't really like it. As you are just a workhorse mech here in the Aux, you should be fine. Just don't get shot at. Don't have any birds hit your mech. Try really hard not to fall over when stepping into swamp tiles or rubble, and you should be fine. They do explode. Try to keep the mail away from them. As for the mail truck itself, we are still using, as I'm sure you know, the 1987 Grumman Aerospace Corporation long life vehicle. They said it could never make it past the year 2000. It would never make it past 2010, 2024, yet here we are in 30-something, still using it. It's indestructible, easy to replace. That Iron Duke engine just keeps going and going and going. Oh, man. Yep. I mean, gonna be honest, Garmos, I'm not even sure what refit number we're on now. By all means, if you want to add a pulse laser and a fusion engine to yours, you can, but I would just keep the ice. It's better. Just figure out how to vent off that pulse laser heat.
Yes. Alrighty. That brings us to my question for you. Have you ever contemplated the deeper implications of your place in this community, or for that matter, the cosmos? Is it as though your fate is led on by a strange thread, led on by an immutable hand that carries with it the eons gone by and yet to come? And if you met that hand, and it wanted a high five, could you even begin to make your own hand big enough for it to feel you in all your immeasurable puniness.
That was so many questions in one. Man, wow. Being that I if that hand could bring itself to be small enough for me to give him a satisfying high five, I would absolutely do it. Being a corporeal biological being who does not have the ability to increase hand size on a whim, I don't believe I could increase my hand size to be large enough to do so. Unfortunately.
Understood. Bringing us
to the earlier part of your question, yes, of course I have questioned my place of existence within all of existence and reality, and in the Aux here, have I made a positive difference? The answer is maybe.
The potential remains. Crispy,
Yes.
your next question.
Yes, well, I was going to ask about weaponizing a Grumman EV, but it sounds like that question's already been answered. So, my question is, how do you weaponize a mailbox? Is it adding legs in an AC-20?
So it really depends. If you want your mailbox to remain immobile, just dig down a good 30, 40 feet like you're drilling out a new well. You attach it to a piece of rebar and then cement it in place. It is not going to move. Any kid who decides to lean out of their best friend's sedan with a baseball bat to hit your mailbox will instead shatter both of their arms. And you will probably be charged with a felony because you have created a trap. Now, if it's not your house and your mailbox, go ahead. That said, if you decide to do it that way, please try very hard not to drive home drunk and hit your mailbox because you will die. And now, alternatively, by all means, proximity-based, lasers, machine guns, Arrow 4, just detonates. That's fine. Just make sure your mailbox is rated to survive the Arrow 4 blast. And also make sure that it's set up correctly to not damage the mailman or the mailman's mailmac. Because we will sick our dogs on you, and they are big and they kill in one bite.
Excellent. Brings us to Mad Duck's next question.
Question. The previous mayor may or may not have spent the entire Ox's budget on Megasaurs. And currently they're very young. Would you be able to cover up the previous mayor's incompetence by training the Megasaurs to deliver the mail? Bear in mind, these are 60-ton giant reptiles when they're fully grown.
How long do they take to mature?
Few years.
How trainable are they?
Well, nobody knows because they keep eating the. It's probably fine.
Okay. So the trainer just keeps quitting the job. I got you.
Yes. Quit.
So maybe, but if I train the Megasaurs to deliver the mail, what's my party going to be doing? We can't just keep protecting the mining minister from the other parties and gangs. We have to deliver the mail. It's what we do. Whether we get paid or not, it's just a bonus. So to answer your question for the Megasaurs, we'd try. We absolutely would try to train them to deliver the mail or eat rival trainers, use them to guard my mansion and mech bay. But there's no incompetence to cover up here. This was clearly a genius decision because they can be sold off at a much higher rate than you paid, I hope. Maybe.
No further question, thank you.
Mr. Squick.
Yeah, as we're starting to run towards the end of things, I'm going to try and keep my question a little bit shorter. Why is it called Alhambra if there's no ham in it?
What's an Alhambra?
You know, the water bottle company.
Oh, I'm unfamiliar, as I do not drink this water. Wait. Water bottle? Like water from the toilet?
Yeah, except it's for the whole office. So you can get like toilet office power water. Like it's not really Brondo adjacent, but you know, you make do with what you got.
Oh, weird. Okay. I mean, in 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 the postal party headquarters, we only have Moxie. So, I mean, I'm guessing it's called Alhambra because it's some weird foreign language thing.
I think it means expensive water delivered by hand truck.
Okay, yeah, that sounds about right. Sounds about right.
Yes. Okay, then. Question from chat, Mr. Rail.
It's once again, who does the candidate choose to represent them in a trial of combat in the WBPLW ring?
Oh boy. Ah, I mean, is it to the death?
No, it's just professional wrestling.
Oh, just professional wrestling. I mean, I have always been a big fan of the masked Mexican wrestlers that they have. Nobody knows their names, so they go by stage names. I don't really follow it that hard. I just feel like one of those would bring along a mariachi band instead of having like a SoundCloud trap music playing as their theme. So, I mean, the only one whose name I know is Rey Mysterio, and I don't know. He's getting up there in age, so he'd probably lose for me.
Wait, the Spider-Man villain?
Was that? I don't even know. I'm not too good on the.
Yeah, Mysterio was like the fishbowl head dude.
Oh man.
That's a question for the philosophers. However.
Oh no, Rey Mysterio is indeed a professional wrestler in America. In current time.
Excellent. All right, that brings us to our last two questions. First, why can't Granite Elephant seem to forget? Is it because of the vast hand from question 4 pulling him along?
Yes, that's probably it.
Oh, okay. Simple enough. Lastly, please say something nice about your opponents. Mean it. If you don't mean it, you won't come true.
Truth be told, this has been a fun encounter. This entire event has been enjoyable. All of the opponents have been amicable. In the private chat that we have, everyone's great to chat with. Everyone's great to bounce ideas off of. It's been a great creative experience. And honestly, thanks to Cleaver being the only competitor for 2 weeks, I think about a week and a half. I've decided to take up video editing as, just like a new hobby, something to learn how to get good at, maybe, or get burnt out on and give up in a week. But they've all been great, except for that one confused one. I don't know anything about him, who he is, or what's going on.
Understandable.
I don't think he does either.
I don't think he knows he's running.
Potentially.
But everyone's been great, so.
Well, excellent. Well, thank you for coming, Vendrette. We thank you for your time. And we now will bring on our last candidate here. You have a good one, Vendrette.
You too. Be well. Thank you.
Have fun. Thank you so much for coming.
Yeet. All right, ladies and gentlemen, remember, this is brought to you by the Donner Party Diner, where you are the main flavor. And now on to Haleon.
Cal.
It's Haleon.
Hello. It is I.
It is that guy.
He's that guy. Anyways.
So, before we get started, can I make a statement?
By all means.
Try.
I would like to say that although we are trying to run a at worst ambivalent, at best positive campaign, I would like to point out that I find there's a bit of bias and unfairness in that we would take the very oldest of the candidates and have them go last, knowing that not only is it well past my bedtime, it is also far past booze o'clock.
This is fair. We weren't thinking in those terms. We were thinking in terms of
holy crap, this is taking 3 hours. We
Yeah,
didn't
follow-up
think this
question.
out as well as we thought we did.
That's completely
Follow-up
fair.
question.
Yeah.
What
well.
is thinking? I do not practice that
Thinking?
personally.
All right.
Mm,
Well, I do apologize for that, Mr. Halion, but
nah.
please explain your platform.
So the Gen Ox party of myself and Ginger Bitters, we are members of the auxiliary of a certain age, shall I say. And it is our position that, if you've got a large collection of weirdos, shenanigans and weirdness and inevitably madness is going to happen. And at the end of the day, if you're going to have somebody who's going to be a mayor, maybe you want somebody who's lived through some, some other madness and some craziness, shall we say, some shit, who, has learned how to handle it and, shall we say, could be adults about it. And that's basically it. And if you don't care for that and you don't want to vote for us, at the end of the day, that's fine. We don't care. Vote for whomever.
Indeed. Crispy.
Yes. Well, I think my first question for the Gen Ox party is, are you going to be bringing back Jinkos? And if so, how will you improve upon Jinkos?
What's a Jinko?
Jinko jeans? And you call yourself Gen Ox?
Okay.
They're the pants that can store a PlayStation 1 in each pocket.
Okay. All right. So what you're talking, all right. So where I grew up, the only people who wore those were like the goth kids and the posers. So no.
Interesting.
We will, however, be bringing back parachute pants and mandating cargo pants, but with white socks and sandals.
Yes. All right. Mad Ducks, your questions.
So, let's be honest here. I'm just going to cut straight to the chase. What do you think of the corruption and the incompetence of the current mayor?
Well, that's a very layered question. In so much as I do not feel that there is a question of corruption of the current mayor. Incompetence, I really think that's a point of view. What some people consider incompetence, other people could simply consider, creativity, and the inability to simply, tell other people what to do. I'm a big fan of the current mayor. I've, full disclosure, was, voted for said individual.
That was a choice. Now look where we are.
It was a choice. But I would say, if I had to look back on it again, I don't regret that decision and I would make it again.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Squickenstein.
Stockholm Syndrome achieved.
In exchange for monetary compensation or the promise of future monetary compensation or a variety of high-end bargaining tactics, a number of establishments will give you the opportunity to not only purchase a custom-made confectionery item, but to include your very own custom words or images upon it. If you were to order a 48-inch sheet cake, what would it say and why?
If I were to order a 48-inch sheet cake, what it would say on it is, this is the property of Helion. None of you are allowed to eat it. I've already licked every square inch of it. Please, someone order me some insulin.
That's a lot to put on a cake.
Well, it's a 48-inch cake. There's plenty of room. You just got to write small.
No, he's got a point. That checks out.
No, but 48 inches in which dimension? I choose to believe tall.
So it's 1 inch by 48. So it's just a giant Jenga cake.
Right.
That's
well,
not a
see,
sheet
see,
cake. That's a curtain cake.
see, then that's fine though. Then it's more healthy because there's less icing. It's more cake.
Well, it's like a billboard. You just read it from the side.
Excellent. All right, Rail with a question from the audience.
Oh no, Rail has been consumed by the Shadow Realm.
Oh no, my control button for my Control C, Control V that I've been using to pull the questions into a Word document is right next to my mute button.
Ha
Yeah, so if you're wondering why that keeps happening, that's why. Because you all keep making me work, and that screws up my mic settings.
Just
It's your
download
fault.
more hands.
Oh yes,
No.
blame your co-host.
Anyways,
Oh,
question.
not you, lads. It's chat's fault. Anyway,
Oh.
Oh
Zippy
no, that's
McTarget
fine. Blame
asks,
Chad. Blaming Chad
Oasis
is
or
acceptable.
Blur?
Okay, repeat the question.
Wonderwall.
Oasis or Blur?
Oh my god.
Oh, that depends. Are the brothers fighting at the moment, or are they pretending to get along and simply existing in a state of cold, seething hatred? Because if they're fighting at the moment, then absolutely Oasis all day long.
Excellent. Then that brings me to one of my questions. Please recite the Portuguese national anthem in Dutch.
Did I not already mention that it is well past sober o'clock?
All right, then I'll be nicer about it. If you take a step, where didn't you go?
If I take a step, where didn't I go? Back to bed.
Oh, okay then. All right, that brings us around to Crispy's next question.
Yes. Being that you are a member of the Ox Party, and are more of a, shall we say, senior member of the Ox, what is your plan to take care of the more elderly members of our community, such as Whacker, who is 3 million years old? Are you going to preserve him in lacquer like the Methuselah he is, or do you have ways to recycle him?
First of all, there will be no lacquer for Whacker. But I have two words: nanomachine, son.
that's 3 words, but I'll accept that answer.
So nanomachines, it's one word. It's hyphenated.
Ah, yes, of course.
All right, Mr. Mad Ducks.
Hey, Leon, you've mentioned we've discussed this 48-inch sheet cake. I question you, and I question your knowledge now. According to the cube rule of food identification, what type of thing is this cake?
What type of thing is this 48-inch cubed cake?
I'll give you a hint. It has one layer of structural starch.
I'm going to go with blue.
Well, he's not entirely wrong because the indicator on the chart of the cube rule of food identification is blue. The correct answer is toast. Thank you.
Excellent. That brings us then to Mr. Squick's next question.
Toast cannot be categorized simply by its verticality in contrast to the horizontality of a number of other items. This would imply that a preloaded toaster is, in fact, a sandwich, although that runs into an additional problem as the world exists not in a series of charts, but in which the KFC Double Down can not only exist, but have a comeback. With that in mind, if elected to a leadership position, how do you feel this would affect your personal selection of hats?
Well, seeing as how a hat is simply just the top part of, the quote unquote the bun of a clothing outfit, with the shoes being the bottom part, I would probably go somewhere between an amusing, like roadside gas station trucker hat. Or, if I'm feeling particularly fancy, I don't know, maybe like a pickle hobbin.
Spiky hat.
Excellent. Well then,
Soup tureen grade.
Rail, give us a question from chat.
It's time for the ever so wonderful fallback. Who does the candidate choose to represent them in a trial of combat in the WBPLW ring?
So we're gonna have a trial by combat. Who do I choose? Well, I truly think that in that situation, you've got to go with somebody who truly has no equal, who is the proverbial irresistible force. I think at that point, then the only choice. Now, are we strictly going from the auxiliary or the wider community in general?
Wider community.
All right, then it's got to be Wide Tom. I mean, who's going to move him, right? And even if you begin to get close enough and try to grapple, the power of his atomic fart is going to throw you from the ring. Ergo, combat over.
Now that we've actually gotten the responses from everybody, I want to point out that I know for a fact at least me and Storm were both options and neither of us were picked, and I am a little sad.
Squick was also an option. He should be
Squick was
sad with
also an
us.
Also,
Hell
I think
no!
White Tom was
I'm gonna
already
stab people with a fork.
But
Like win,
no,
lose, or draw, I'm lowering the standard.
indeed. All right, my next.
Note: White Tom was already taken.
That doesn't. It's the BPL. There can be two White Toms. We break existence all the time.
Yeah,
He's
I'm writing
wide
down
enough for the
duplicates
both
and
of 'em.
letting that be
Make it
Hal's problem.
Make it Hal's problem. This is correct.
Excellent. All right, so, my next question. Have you ever ripped off your shirt and been killed by Greg Kinnear?
No, I have ripped off my pants and been killed by Greg Kinnear, though.
Which would explain some things. Incidentally, Crispy, that's probably how you were born.
What?
Anyways, on to our
No
power
comment.
round. Final questions, everyone.
I'll see you on Mari, sir.
Anyways, Crispy, final question.
Are you gonna go on Mari with me? No, in all actuality. Let's see here. Yes, how would you soup up your geo tracker, sir?
Okay, funny story. My first ex-wife had a geo tracker when we met, and it was a manual transmission in which it was the vehicle that I learned to drive a manual on, halfway between Knoxville and Cincinnati. When she basically got tired of driving and pulled over and said, "All right, you're just going to have to figure it out." And I would soup it up with a truck nuts.
Excellent choice.
Indeed. All right. Maddox, your final question.
Hey, Leon. Let's be honest. We're both fans of barbecue, and smoking, and grilling, and cooking lots of meat-shaped objects for consumption by peoples. Yes.
Yes.
Now, that being said, I would like you. Can you give me an impromptu Murphy's Mobile Meat Shack advertising smoked megasaur after a postal accident?
Okay, so an impromptu Murphy's Meat Shack advertisement.
For the megasaur, the male megasaur. After
Male megasaur. Howdy there, folks. This is Murphy from Murphy's Meat Shack, and have we got a special for you? We've got, thanks to you, or rather, thanks to some accidents that happened out on the main expressway, have we got some smoked megasaur for you. We've got megasaur ribs, we've got megasaur jowls, we've even got some megasaur naughty bits. They're pretty tender, if I do say so. So come on down to Murphy's Meat Shack and ask for the Murphosaur special.
Thank you.
Excellent. Squick, final question.
The question of time moving in circles remains unanswered as moment leads to moment leads to moment, and if we exist within a system that respects basic causality, then there are only two functional endpoints the universe can come to. The first being the universe, and the second being other. As the universe continues to exist, we can therefore assume that the first option has been selected. With that as context, how do you feel about the idea of bagpipes, but with a harmonica instead of a chanter?
Well, personally, I have a great affinity for the bagpipes. I know that can sometimes be a, unpopular opinion. And although I do like the harmonica, I don't think that it would be a good substitute. Uh, on some level, those are two things that need to exist independent of themselves. If you try to start crossing those streams, you start to get a problem. And the funny thing is, now this reminds me of a discussion I had with one of my ex-wives. I forget which one at the time, about the the origins of wind instruments and things that you put in your mouth. And and strangely enough, she was a messy eater. She would just go on and just made the worst sounds. And what were we talking about again?
Oh, we were going to add a kazoo to it so we could have like a harmonicas or a harmonizuka phone, because I feel like there's a market for that.
I have 40 kazoos. Like, just say the word.
That's a lot of kazoo.
So you have noisemakers, 40 type
I
K.
have 40 kazoos, and I have bought them for the singular purpose of founding the BPL Kazoo Orchestra.
Kazorchestra.
Yes, that's the exact title, actually.
Excellent.
A choir of kazoos.
Alrighty.
You can feel it in your meats. This is a threat.
They're 30 feet from where I'm sitting right now. Say the word. Next
Ducks,
question.
I don't have that many feet.
Oh, you can feel it in your grilled meats from Murphy's Meat Shack.
Oh my god. All right, Rail, one more question from the audience.
All right, this question is from Whacker from Beyond him going to bed, because if I don't ask it, he will never stop whinging at me about it. What is your favorite deep lore story from the Ox, and why does it involve Crispy and a tree?
Okay. All right. So this is going to be a very
Hold on, I'm making a mental note to kill Wagner later. Continue.
This is going to be a very unsatisfactory answer, and it may very much hurt my myself and my co-candidates campaign. But unfortunately, I'm going to have to decline that very specific answer to that question, because there's a difference between being a bad candidate and a bad interviewee, and unfortunately, being a bad friend. And full disclosure, Crispy and I are friends. We have spent many hours, not just in Unplugged, but beyond. And this particular incident that you bring up, that I can neither confirm or deny, and will not, may or may not have happened, is one that I may or may not have promised to never reveal or speak of again. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to decline to answer this out of the respect for both my friend and of, following the bro code. And I apologize if that's disappointing.
We
It's
respect
okay.
that.
It's okay. You're only disrespecting Whacker, and that's just, everybody does that.
And you have proven to be a lady of
humble.
honor.
Indeed.
All right.
So there
Your
you go,
check's in the mail,
folks.
by the way.
All right,
Yes.
so last question then. Please say something nice about your opponent. Mean it. If you don't mean it, you won't come true.
As difficult it is to say something nice about some of our opponents, and they know who they are. Truthfully, as said in one of the episode of the podcast that we do, the Ox Unplugged, find it on Spotify and other places. Shameless plug. The Ox is a wonderful and brilliant place. It is something that means more to me than I can possibly contextualize, in that it is a brilliant, beautiful, mad collection of the most creative, insane, and divergent individuals. And the fact that all of our opponents in this particular election or what have you are so different and are people that if I were to meet in real life, I probably would not care for. And some of them that I have met here, I don't necessarily care for, but that's okay because it takes a lot of different people to make something like this, to make a beautiful, mad, crazy, but yet wonderful, supportive, and accepting community like this. And no matter who wins this election, no matter who any of the electorate chooses to support, I just hope that everyone enjoys it, has a good time, and that please God don't elect the furry.
Oh, well, okay then.
Shots fired.
With that final bit out of the way, we thank you all for coming to the WBPL News 76 Ox Mayoral Candidate Interview Show-like product. Sadly, the unlacquered whacker drives the quacker crackers because he's late on his sleep, so in order to get Mad Ducks to sleep on time, we're going to have to call it close here. And I do want to congratulate you all for raising $1,300 tonight for St. Jude's Medical Research. You are wonderful people. And I think we are out on that. So,
Alrighty.
You guys all be good to each other, stay safe, and remember, as always, turkey bacon is the best bacon.
I'll fight you.